So, last session, you guys went to a fighting pit to sort of celebrate your newly earned freedom from the Valiers and your victory in the summoning circle. So you celebrated winning a fight with, beating the shit out of other people. Ro entered the ring and so did Mason. Mason had better luck in the ring than Ro did, but
I
of course.
Ro left some deeply personal wounds.
Yes. Ro left
Emotional wounds.
deeply personal wounds. And then after that, you guys went back to the crick, picked up some packages that need to be delivered in Pharaoh and Halterman, and made your way back to the Valiers. Getting ready to leave the next day to start on your errands that you picked up and also chase up some leads that you had about your own personal quests. While preparing for the day, you were hurriedly told to leave by Issa as two unidentified individuals with in white robes appeared at the barracks that you were staying at, and you had to rush out in a bit of a hurry. Back on the road, after you received a cart and horses from Issa, you followed the
Mason
river.
Jumped off a 3-story building.
Yeah, Mason jumped off a 3-story building, as you do, monk shit.
Superhero landing.
Just fucking badass shit.
Yep. You killed a innocent bird.
Barba.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And followed the river.
And then questioned said bird.
Questions.
It wasn't stalking us. It doesn't mean it was innocent.
Who sent you?
Nobody in like,
Who do you work for?
And then you finally
That bird killed a lot
started
of
to.
other birds.
You don't know that. You don't know the bird.
Ate a lot of worms.
Anyway.
The bird story.
You followed the river Brill upstream and found yourself at the edge of the sandstorm that marks effectively the entrance to the Sudgarian Empire. Planning to head off to Oxton, Ro's hometown. You've bedded down for the night and take your turns taking watch, keeping an eye on the intensifying and ebbing sandstorm that lies in front of you. The morning comes and the day is yours. Beholden, what would you like to do?
Cool.
What if the men in white coats that are coming for Ophelia are just from, the crazy clinic?
That is a remote possibility.
They have blue gloves.
Morning.
They may not.
good morning.
Morning.
That thing that you set up last night, it didn't trigger at any point. You didn't get any warning that...
Only for some creepy crawlies.
That's okay. Mine was close at hand. That was unintentional.
I forgot about that.
Yes, I do sometimes too. And then it's there again. Do you know the way from here to your
I know the general direction.
I mean, we have a map, right? So
As long as we
We
follow the river, we should.
We don't
And then-
necessarily know where we are relative on the map, though.
I mean, we've been following the river basically. So
Yeah.
if we just keep on doing that and
We'll
the
get there.
general direction, we'll find it and then leave again.
I had some looking at the map while we were asleep, and I think I figured out which way will be the best for us to go. to travel to where we're trying to get to without being followed. I can explain it while we're traveling if you'd like.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
that's something you spent a lot of time on then.
Just while I was on watch.
Just a few hours.
Just all of the watch.
I mean, this took Nick 5 minutes. I mean,
Okay.
Continue on then.
So,
I'll
an
sit
eye
up
out.
again next to Callian.
you set up next to Callian.
Yeah.
We'll be in the cart.
The rest of you are in the cart.
I'm just sort of keeping an eye out of the back of it.
Cool. Make a perception check.
First roll with these new dice.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Good stuff.
there's,
Okay.
there's another
20.
innocent bird.
1.
Cool.
God damn it, wasted! Maybe.
Hey, you never know. Okay, so, and the two of you are leading. So
He's driving.
you're driving,
driving,
you're
yeah.
navigating.
Yeah.
Either one of you or both of you can roll a survival check. So one of you can roll advantage, or both of you can roll survival. And
Oh, well, okay.
cool. Yeah.
That is a 13.
13. Cool. As you enter the desert itself, in the general direction of Oxton. Sorry, brain not working. As you head off the general direction of Oxton, the sandstorms it starts to like wean. It starts to get a lot less intense, and as you start to get further and further in, it dies out almost completely. But as you're making your way into the desert and the vegetation and stuff sort of leaves, you start to go away from, peel away from following the river, into the general direction of Oxton itself. The sandstorm more or less subsides. You can see it off in the distance, every now and again, but before you effectively lies barren desert.
So no need for the goggles then.
No need for the goggles. And
Great barren desert. Ask him how his day is.
and you manage to keep pace. You manage to keep a steady pace towards Oxton. You're fairly certain you're going in the right direction. Not having a sandstorm makes it that much easier. So the first half of the day goes by without too much hassle. Every now and again you will see just
I see
creatures.
everything.
Yeah, you see random sort of creatures is burrowing into the sand. You see sort of larger lizard-looking creatures burrow into the sand. Up above you see vultures
Sure.
every now and again, and off in the distance towards your right-hand side, which is away from back towards where the river would be. About 200-300 feet 200 to 300 feet away, which seems to be the other side of a dune. You see a sort of flock of vultures. Is it a flock of vultures?
There's a specific
A
name
collective of vultures.
Good.
A group of vultures.
Yeah, a group of vultures that seem to be circling. So you pick that out amongst all of the others. But other than that, it's fairly...
for it. Dead over there.
Where's that, sir?
Do we want to check it out?
See the little circly vultures over there? They're not landing, so it's obviously not quite dead. I'm guessing. I don't really.
Committee.
A committee of
It's
vultures.
so
A
pleasant.
committee, a venue, or a vault?
A vault.
A vault of
A
vultures.
vault of
Vultures.
vultures.
It's like a venue.
VOLT. Vault.
A convention.
Committee.
A vault
venue,
of vultures.
Right. Do we want?
Grab me with
How? So as you said, like it's only like 600 about however.
About 300 to 400 feet off to your right, and it's. I mean, there's a small small sand dune between you and whatever these vultures are circling over, but they seem to be consistently just in one, sort of circling in one place.
I'm gonna just like kind of tap Mason and point it out. Do you want to check it out?
Interesting.
I mean, I'm kind of.
Wouldn't they be landing if
That's
it was
what I just
dead?
said. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was
This
thinking.
desert's meant to be dangerous, is it not?
I would assume all deserts are dangerous. There's a lack of water. Things that live in the harsh climate. Do we want to have a look at it or not? Or not worry without trying to make time?
How far do you think it would be?
It's like what, like 200 feet away or something? It wouldn't
Maybe
take too
slightly
long for
more.
you.
I could take a jog over and have a look.
I mean, I'll just.
if
I'll
you
kind
wait
of.
here-
Is there like a wall at the front of the cart, or is there like a curtain or something?
It's not a covered cart, because previously when you had
I
it,
thought
there
it
was
was
a
covered,
tarp
yeah.
on top of it. There's no tarp, so it's just like a.
Oh shit! Okay, I
yeah,
thought
so
it was
it's
covered.
wagon.
It's just a box. I also thought it was covered.
No, it's
So it's
not-
So like we were just out in the open there, huh?
pretty much.
Yeah.
It was covered the last time. This
Yeah.
time it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on
I'm gonna like, poke at Kelly and Ro and
Probably
point.
hear the conversation.
Oh yes, well.
If it's,
Yeah, you
if
probably.
it's an open cart.
Yeah, it is an open
Yeah.
cart.
Helen hasn't had much sleep. Helen is tired. Ophelia is stressed.
Fair.
Right. So, do we want to maybe check that out?
I can go for a jog. It won't take me long to get there.
Do we care if it's already dying or dead?
I mean, it could be like a person or something.
If it was us,
They could
it
have money.
would be nice for someone
well.
to stumble upon us.
Well, we could
That too.
just detour over towards the dune.
Well, if you
We don't have to go all the way, just need to see what it
I
is.
thought if we were
Yeah,
trying to
that's
avoid
true.
people.
if you stop and slow down and turn the cart around, I can get a head start over there.
Well, we don't have to turn around. We just kind of.
Well,
Perhaps
it's
then-
behind us, isn't it?
It's sort of off to the side.
right.
So like we
So
are like
towards-
going this way. It's towards the river. Like.
Right.
If
Perhaps we just wait and
if you were
You
able
go
to
and
scout,
scout.
ahead,
Sure.
I can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just place Manibus and he just kind of clamps down on your shoulder a bit, like a little bit too
Massage.
firmly. Because I imagine you're probably. Have you taken your top off again?
Any disembodied
Because I mean,
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't. Okay.
any disembodied hand clinging onto you without a body is too firmly.
Yeah.
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 No, these are made to be in the heat. The robes that I'm wearing. All right, I go for a jog.
Cool.
All
Stop
right.
the
I'll just like dash
Cool.
most of the way.
Sweet.
Like
So you're
I
going
don't know,
all the way.
two
So
rounds worth.
as you get up to the top of
Yep.
the dune, you start and you look down. Make a perception check.
If it's for anything
Fuck,
within
that's-
30 feet, he might be able to do that with advantage because there's a little guy there
Yeah,
that
it's
might
not
be able
30
to.
feet.
Fuck, that's shot. I think that's a 9.
You look down and you don't. There's something that's seemingly buried in the sand because
Yep.
there seems to be some sort of disturbed sand where right below where the vultures are circling.
I'll just go over to it.
Boy.
You rush over to it, and as you get there, it seems to be just some. It seems to be a mountain. There seems to be something glinting.
Is it moving?
No, there's no movement.
I'll.
Poke it with a stick.
Just looks like a mound of stuff glinting.
It seems like a mound of sand, and there's something within it, and you can see a glint of something in there.
Kick it with your foot.
That's what I was gonna do. I'm just gonna sort of shove it with my foot and see if it moves.
You shove it with your foot, and your foot hits something hard, almost metallic.
I'll bend down and I'll try and like wipe some of the sand away.
You start to wipe some of the sand away, and there it seems to be a metal sheet of some sort, some sort of plating, which has been dented and looks pretty beat to shit. And there seems to be something under it.
Does it seem similar to the weird death orb that cut me the fuck up?
Yes, it does.
Hey, Ro.
Can I uncover sort of more of it to get more of a shape?
So as you start to uncover more of it, it seems to be a couple of pieces of scrap metal, which when you move under it, you can see there is a corpse of a what seems to be a human being. And
how ripe is it?
Oh, it's under metal too.
Yeah,
It's been cooking.
it's
That's
pretty close to jerky.
How puffy is it?
Oh, Katie!
It's pretty close to jerky.
Alright,
Just
sweet.
dried out.
It's dried out. It's
Looks
it
pretty
looks
tasty to me.
it's good. It's
That
dried
looks like
out.
coming
It
through.
looks
Like you put it in a
the
dehumidifier.
just looking at it, whatever skin is left is clinging to the bones.
Can I gather how long
Gaunt
it's
face.
been here?
Make a medicine check.
That's really good. Why couldn't that have been perception? That's a 20.
It looks like it's been here quite a while. You'd guess around about a few weeks.
Okay.
So the vultures are kind of just like, I guess we'll just chill out here.
So as you've uncovered, you start to hear the vultures above you start to.
You've opened dinner for them.
Yeah.
I'll punch a motherfucking bird.
My corpse, mine.
Can I see any belongings on it?
There is a satchel.
Sweet, I'll grab that.
So you grab the satchel. It doesn't seem full by any means, but there's things in it.
Is there anything on his body? I'll quickly pat his pocket, see if he's got a necklace on or anything. Jewelry.
Doesn't seem like there's any jewelry or anything. This person seems to just be wearing leathers, leather armors, sort of more flowy, kind of heat resistant, or something you would wear to go into a desert. Into a desert.
So it looks like traveling clothes.
Yeah, traveling clothes with
Probably
leather
didn't expect
armor.
to come across a fighting metal ball.
Yeah. And looking at it as you're patting it down, you see a lot of, like, you can very clearly see this. Whoever this was has come into contact with one of those things that you fought.
Weird.
Because it's you can see very clear sort of puncture wounds through the torso, and it's pretty much exit wounds on the other side, and you can see like very clearly broken bones. The arm is bending the wrong way. It's mangled and then cooked.
Where the fuck is this thing then?
It's just wandering the desert and just like.
Is this like Hyrule? Are there just
Think he's
guardians
gotten lost
everywhere?
again.
Once I've grabbed the satchel, there aren't any specific identifying features, any specific tattoos or anything.
Nah,
Nothing
It's
identifying.
Just
Nah.
jerky.
no identifying features.
Alright, I'll head back towards the cart.
You head back towards the cart, and as soon as you get about 50 to 100 feet away, you guys see the vultures just dive.
Oh, he's dead.
Did you kill something?
No,
And then you see Mason come up the top of the dune
Oh,
with the
okay,
satchel in
alright.
hand. Yeah.
There was a
Dead
corpse.
What?
There was a corpse underneath.
Come down off the dune.
I'm walking as I get closer.
Maybe wait till you're over here.
Just yelling this across.
Sorry. I get up onto the cart and I start
200
going
feet
back-
away.
Back at my map.
There was a corpse.
Yes.
Fuck these guys because they're assholes.
We'll continue on as
No.
I'm taken back now. Thank you.
There was a man, looked like a courier or a traveller. Had the satchel. I haven't looked at what's in it yet. He seemed to have come into contact with whatever that ball was that we fought at the
the
Goblin
same
camp.
one or another one?
I don't know.
Because we kind of took that one apart.
Yeah, this guy's been
Must be
dead for
another
for a while. So
What makes you think it was one of the balls?
he was under some metal plating, which
In it?
isn't super common in the desert. And he had similar wounds to what me and Ro got from it. Slashes, broken bones, looks like from a hammer, or puncture wounds from one side. And to have all of that, similarly, seems like he came into contact with that.
one we fought didn't seem to be missing any pieces.
No, so I would assume it's another one.
I mean,
More
if
of them.
Was it gonna
if there's
eat
one,
you once
surely
you were
there's
done?
more.
If it was inside the metal plating?
Well, I don't
He,
know
like-
if the rest of the ball thing was there.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you meant that it was like he was inside.
No, it was just underneath the middle
It
plating.
was,
Okay.
yeah.
Perhaps
They're not
we
just
should-
sentimental balls, they are also mimics.
We should watch out in case there's
there's
anything
other
else.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Yes.
identifying in his belongings then?
I possibly there is in the satchel that I haven't been through yet.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's
I
probably
will,
go through it.
as we're moving, I'll go through it. I'll sit down and I'll have a look.
Yeah.
As you go through it, it's you find an empty water skin. You find wrappings of what might have been food and travel rations, and you just find just different odds and ends you would have in a explorer's kit. So you find half an explorer's kit basically, minus any of the big items in the sense like sleeping bags and shit like that. Anything that can fit in a satchel from an explorer's kit is what you find in there. But that's pretty much it.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be any
Well, free
packages.
bag. Give it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
There's
You've got
identifiers.
Feel like a little-
None.
No notes, no
Nope.
letters, no anything.
Not at all.
Just an unfortunate
Traveler.
traveler.
We got eaten. Well, not eaten, but attacked by a weird metal creature thing.
Good to know there might be more of them out.
Yeah, we'll keep an
That's
eye out.
kind of disturbing.
a good warning.
At least they're shiny. Hopefully
Yeah.
we can see them coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also means if anyone follows us, perhaps they might meet the same fate.
That's true.
Somewhat
We don't know who or what they're, or if they're working for something.
Do you think they're like sentient?
They must be made by someone.
It's
to
a
start
machine,
with.
though. How could it have thought?
Well, it could see you somehow, right? In order to attack you.
It could
I
be
don't
some
really
kind
know
of
how-
magic.
Yeah, I don't really know how that sort of thing would work.
Isn't there some kind of magic that brings inanimate objects to life?
Yes, but I
Could
I
it be some
don't
variation
think I would
on...
define it as sentience. It's more a sequence of commands and orders.
Perhaps it's something
Like,
similar to that?
Yes, perhaps.
well, sorry to delay the trip there. I just thought it was.
So it was worth checking out. We got information
Good
about
to
what
know.
could be ahead of us.
Yes, something to be aware of.
Keep an eye out for
Yeah.
glints on the horizon.
We will do that.
Cool.
Hopefully we're not
As the
too
entire
far
horizon shimmers with.
Sparkle, sparkle.
I'm just more thinking like just the natural sort of
Yeah, the
reflection of
shimmer
sun
of
on
the
You're just like, oh crap.
I'm also imagining that they make like the sound of Guardians
Yeah.
in Zelda, which is kind of a
Hum.
scary sound.
Yeah, having played Breath of the Wild, yeah, that stuff terrifies me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you hear it off in the corner, you're just like, oh no.
Why do I hear bus music?
Right. So how far are we from Oxford?
You're about
this one?
half a day away
Okay.
at this stage. So
Push on.
the first half of the day goes by without too much incident. And yeah, the heat is
gonna bail on it.
absolutely
I've
sweltering.
tried to like create like a little kind of like awning with my jacket, and I'm just kind of trying to keep my top half underneath of that because
I mean,
I'm
I'm fine.
Fish boy, how are you
I'm
doing?
not doing great. Like Hessel's just kind
I
of
mean-
lying down, just kind of.
Get some salt.
Yeah, I need everyone.
Somebody should have bought like
Feel like
a
a
mist funnel.
I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws.
I have resistance to fire.
You are fine.
I'm fine. I'm sitting there in like my 5 layers.
It's
just
5
like,
layers just
What's up?
chilling.
I have resistance to cold, so I feel like maybe I have a disadvantage on this.
You don't have disadvantage on it, but it's fine.
I'm gonna take my shirt off and start me
Oh,
sunbathe.
Callian, no!
Sorry, this is a con save.
Yeah, con save.
Con save. Cool.
This is
So I don't have to.
well,
Oh,
no, you
that's
still make a
you.
con save because it's not to do with damage per se.
Oh my
It's
god.
just a lot of
Look at this.
it's heat and uncomfortable
wow.
surroundings.
Advantage or just.
I'd say make it with advantage because you've got resistance, but yeah, it's less to do with.
19 plus.
This fucking
20.
dice tray and this piece of shit.
No, it's
here.
this. It's cursed. It's another 4.
He also made me roll a 4.
Um, Just use your other dice, okay?
Commitment. It's
One.
gonna be-
Okay.
20.
You're good.
13.
Okay.
Oh, guys.
So you,
Well, we
the
probably
three
got
of you are
like
fine.
blankets
Actually,
and stuff, right?
I'm used to tree cover.
Yeah,
This is not
the
natural.
three of you are fine.
it becomes a 6 for me. No, 7. A 7.
Mine also becomes a 7.
Probably still not
You have
high
your
enough.
shirt off, so you are horribly sunburnt.
It's fine. It matches the house burns.
Yeah.
Are you like a weird greenish red
Yeah.
now?
Oh, there's some pinkness coming into the green.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a watermelon.
Do you burn red? Like,
I don't know.
Like a darker green, maybe?
Possibly. Yeah.
Anyway, you're horribly sunburned. You feel just dehydrated and just breathing in this whatever little
Your
sun and
your
dust. It's
field
just
of-
yeah.
The cardigan's off as
yeah.
well now. I'm just down to the
And
shirt.
you're sitting up in front trying to wrangle the horses, and this
The
heat,
cart starts going
just
like-
everything starts to get to you. All three of you have one level of exhaustion.
oh, good.
As you go into this second
I'll
half
pass you
of the
5
journey.
water
Great
skin.
way to start the day.
Would we like a break? A chance to just
What do you mean?
unwind?
The sooner we get
Yes.
to Oxton, the sooner you can.
It won't take but a moment. If everyone could please step off the cart.
I do so?
Sure.
Callie.
I'm going to step off the cart,
Yep.
and I kind of like, if everyone could come closer a moment. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but you can kind of go in and out as much as you want during the time. Aqua Mure, and I cast Wall of Water as water just
Oh,
starts to seep up from the sand and creates a big
Wait,
long wall.
well, we're
of
in
water.
it, or
No,
Okay.
in front of us.
I was gonna be
So
like,
as you stand there and Hessel finishes his
Yeah.
incantation, you see the sand around you start to just dampen and start to move as this just wall of water just rises from it around, like right in front of you, and it's like it's constantly churning, like it's like an upwards waterfall that ends up at the top and then flows onto its side and the other side. So it's just like a constantly going waterfall.
just be like, dogs and sprinklers just.
Just gonna like hold my water skin up to it and just.
Is it fresh water or?
It's fresh, yeah. So
Okay.
it's 30 foot long and it's 10 feet high and it's a foot deep. So it's not super deep, but you can kind of walk back and through
I'm
it.
going to fill
Yeah,
up both
hit
mine
this.
and the new empty water skin that I have. So I have
You
2
fill-
water skins.
You
Do
fill
that
up
as
2
well.
empty water skins.
Smart boy.
Did the guy? Yeah, you got the new one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just going to step into it, and it's going to be like when you get dumped by waves, and I'm just
Yeah.
sort of like tumbling over and over again, but all I do is just go through the wash cycle because I'm just exhausted. It's just
And you're sunburned, so that would be like being pelted out
Oh,
of the sun.
yes.
soft. It's fine. It's cold.
Is it churning up sand as well? Was it like?
There's bits of
Trying
sand,
to
but
keep that
it's
down because I am concentrating on it, and Hessel does like shirt off and just goes in and just kind of arms up and just starts breathing in.
Should someone
Yeah.
rescue Mason?
yeah,
Just
like
float there.
you see Hessel standing there just like at peace and on like off to his right, Mason.
I'm just picturing Mason about this far off the ground, just spinning.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just stick my face in and start.
So I can concentrate on that for up to 10 minutes. So I just do it until everyone
You're
feels
gonna
good.
drown.
Please.
I can't.
Fucking Callion.
After I've sufficiently had the tumble experience, the tumble dry experience of my life, I'm just gonna try and shoot out the top of it. And
Make an acrobatics check.
And puke.
With disadvantage.
right.
With disadvantage, you are exhausted.
Yeah.
Although it cannot be much worse than that.
Oh, again.
It's not much worse. It's just slightly worse. That's an 11.
Yeah, easy enough. I mean, you shoot at the top. You shoot at the top of it, and as you hit the ground, your knees buckle, but you manage to catch yourself.
Oh, it was 50 feet yesterday that I dropped.
Is everyone? We're
I mean, I'm
feeling
fine.
better.
I'll just kind of stick my hands, wash my hands.
Yeah.
like,
Standing like the spray on the other side.
I also sort of wanted to wash because we probably all smell like shit.
I have prestidigitation.
Yeah, well, I don't anymore. I kind of want to stay wet, but thanks.
Thanks.
Oh, well, I mean, you can go right
That's a good point.
Mara,
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, true.
don't need to jump in because I was like, I don't want to go in because I don't want to be like soaking in like wet leathers that's now going to like bake in the sun. But magic.
I'm just gonna step through
Yeah.
and step back.
Step through and step back. Cool.
and just once I feel like we're pretty
Actually,
much
wait,
done.
before you do that, can I take a blanket or something and just like literally just soak it
Yep.
in the water?
You soak
And
Good idea.
I'll do that with a couple of them and then
Yeah.
just
Cool.
give one
Well,
to
I'll grab the one that's out of the
Yeah.
explorer pack we found. We'll do that as well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use shape water
Yeah.
to try and pull some of the water out as it starts to collapse, and I'm going to shape it into almost like a circular crown shape.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to move it over my head and freeze it.
And freeze.
Nice.
Yeah. So you do, and as that completes, you see Hessel.
Wet blanket.
You see Hessel crowning himself. It's just
Thank you for that.
Who
That
knows? Yeah, let's do a
feels
blanket.
much better. I'm going to go lie back down in the cart and just kind of go back in and
I don't
collapse
think the
underneath my
fish
little
boy
tent.
likes
yeah.
the heat.
I mean, it's not that bad.
No, I'm fine.
Seeing them soaking blankets, I would have done the same to drape over the horses since they're
Yeah.
sort of. We don't want them passing out.
Cool. So, as you go into the second half of your day's journey, I need the two of you to make survival checks, or one of you make with advantage.
You have disadvantage, don't you?
Yep.
So I'll roll with advantage.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can kind of like take like a little bit more of a back seat.
That's okay. 16.
So as you start to move through towards Oxen again, after sort of taking that calming, that refreshing, tumble dryer experience in some cases,
Front load washing machine.
yeah, you, oh god, you start, you hear the wind start to pick up again, and the sand starts to blow back through. It's not as bad as the sandstorm was when you came into the desert for the first time. So it's not like a completely blinding, you can't see anything kind of sandstorm. There's still the sand flying around, and if you keep your goggles off, it still hurts your eyes. But
Oh, that's gonna suck on your son.
yeah,
He's got a blanket on him, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll
But yeah.
help. Otherwise, it'd be just being sandblasted.
but yeah, there's
don't have
a
a
semblance
light
of a
bulb.
sandstorm
Okay,
that
well,
picks up.
suffer then, I guess.
And and you still sort of through the sandstorm guide Callian in terms of again veering off course, or that sort of thing. And eventually, as you as the sun starts to set and things start to cool down a little bit, it's refreshing, and you crest another dune, and on the other side you see what seems to be a bit of a depression in the topography, and in the center you see your hometown. You see Oxton, and for those of you who haven't been here, Oxton, from a distance, you can see that it's the offshoot from the river dumps into a small lake in the middle, and Oxton seems to be not a very big town. It almost looks like as if a trading post grew around a lake into a settlement. So it's in the center. As you're getting closer, you see in the center there is a lake, and by the lake there is this one large building, which also has some docks coming off of it. You know this to be the town center, where most of the day-to-day governing of the town takes place. Along the river itself, you see buildings, and each of these buildings seem to have some sort of large water wheel dipped into the river, which seems to be turning with the current. So there's about 4 of them, and those make up what's effectively the outskirts of the town. Give me 1 second here. And the central area around the lake, it seems to be, it seems to look like more of a town center. So just around the lake is, you know this to be sort of where the markets are, where the general stores are. It's the industrial section of Oxton. And on the outside, around this market, is where the settlements are. And these settlements are either made of sandstone, and as you sort of get further and further out, they become more and more sort of ramshackled, in the sense that they seem to be made of scrap metal, wood, sandstone, all that sort of thing, as you get further and further out from the center of Oxton itself. But yeah, that is Oxton, and you see it as you start to get closer and closer.
Where does the water go? It goes along the river into the lake. Where does it go from the lake?
You
It
don't
goes
know.
out to the
You've
river,
never.
does it not?
I've
No,
never.
it comes in from the river goes to the lake. Wonder where the water goes.
Well, it's a lake, so usually
yes.
they just kind of stay in one spot.
Stays in the lake.
Yeah, but the lake would just keep getting bigger.
But
Would it not? The water
that's
keep.
not
It's not
exactly
a
how lakes work,
lane,
I don't think.
If it's at a level point, it'll rise as much as the water will allow. It won't
So it just seeps
rise
into the
above that
ground.
point. It has a
It has a
Bedrock?
stopping
a
point.
sea level
Yeah.
almost.
So the excess water from the river just seeps into the ground.
It's probably bedrock or whatever.
Just asking the question. It seems like a lot of water to go nowhere.
Well, it's only a small tributary going off the main source.
Still big enough for water wheels. There must be quite a lot of water moving through.
Perhaps.
Just
I mean,
making a comment.
we're still like
Moving.
kind
yeah,
of
go
in
on.
the desert, right?
Yeah, so
How
you're
far away is it? Like,
it's
How many,
it's.
like, time-wise, I mean.
I'd say it'll take you another, say, hour to get to
I will not
Oxon
cast
itself.
that spell yet then.
Yeah, it'll take you about an hour to get there, but it's you.
We're still in the desert. I'm assuming that the ground absorbs a lot. I've never really thought about it.
It's just an interesting thought that I had.
Well,
Are they able to grow much in
Maybe
Oxford?
someone can answer it for you in town.
Do we grow
I
much
asked
in
that
Oxton?
You haven't. There aren't really farms here. This isn't necessarily. I mean, there's sort of indoor gardens almost.
Yeah, there are.
greenhouses.
Yeah, sort of. It's
Okay, Oxford.
but it's not sort of farms like you would have in different
Yeah.
places. This is more of like most of the food and stuff that comes to Oxon comes from
Home and stuff.
yeah, from either from home or from Darlingborough. It's all
Is there a
imported.
bit of like fishing in the lake?
There is.
Most of the produce comes from elsewhere, but there's good fishing in the lake.
Right. There isn't much arable land in the deserts.
Not really, no. Most people have their own small private gardens.
Right.
How long do we plan on staying here?
Well,
Probably
we just need to charter a boat, right?
Or do we want to stay the night? It is getting towards the end of the day.
Perhaps
Probably safest to stay the night.
Staying night's a good idea.
you
it's-
know the city well.
It draws eyes to try and get a boat at night.
Yes.
Right.
My
You
bad,
also-
have
Give you a
to
chance
time
to
as
have a
well.
look.
And you
around.
also know that there's only 2 steamboats effectively.
Yeah, they may not even be here.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there's only those 2 boats, and because those are the only 2 boats that can go upstream, there's only 2 boats that can go and
Yeah.
come back. So they're on a very, very strict schedule, and they're not always there. When they're
Yeah.
gone, they're gone for an extended period of time, and then they return.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we find, I guess, an inn or something?
Well, presumably I still have a home.
Oh, right.
We should also see if the boat owners are here today or not, or when they'll be returning
What their schedule is.
Right.
as soon as possible, so we don't miss out.
Well, if we
Yeah.
go see if I still have a house or not,
Yes.
drop off any belongings let the horses rest, and then we can head down to the docks.
I don't mean to intrude, or... Did you have any other family here other than your father?
No.
Right.
I don't know if it's such a great idea for me to be wandering around this town as I am. I can disguise myself,
Oh, I think that's a
but...
very smart idea.
Oh no, I was going to anyway, but I mean, I can only do it so much. So...
I mean, there is a certain amount of disguising that I can help with as well.
Yes, you were very good that time. Again, I'm sorry for...
If you're
But not all of us need to go down to the docks.
Yeah.
just
That's
to
what I
ask
meant.
if
I mean, I can
if your
stay
home's there
back
and
at
fine, then
your
yeah, we
home.
don't.
It's whether it's still mine or not.
Yeah.
Right.
I suppose we'll
I don't
find out,
know.
won't we?
Yeah.
Might it draw attention in town if the house is all of a sudden occupied?
If you come home.
If it's your house, then it's your house, right?
It belongs to me.
Just how long has it been unoccupied for?
Like a month.
Yeah, in about
Yeah,
a month,
about
maybe a
a
bit
month.
more.
Your father would travel, surely.
Could anyone be watching? it
He
for-
didn't really, but... I mean, the only people that may be watching is the Thieves Guild, which I'm part of.
It's just something to be aware of. That
Or if
the
someone
house-
set up your father, could they
Well,
be?
The Thieves Guild works for Valier. Everything's tied in intricate knots.
Does
We
the
don't know
Thieves
who
Guild work
was...
for Valier? I didn't think it did.
That's how I got my job.
You
Works with Valley.
you don't know if it's a
With-
work for situation or a work with
Works with.
situation.
Yeah.
Thieves Guilds are pretty.
Yeah.
You know that the branch of the Thieves Guild here is just that. It's a branch.
Yeah.
It is a rather large organization that spans a vast majority of Helasia.
Yeah.
So
At least this branch works alongside him.
Worth being aware of.
Right. Well, once we get close enough to the town, I will disguise myself as just a... I was gonna say just a regular
Gelvier.
Hugh, man.
human. My name is Human, and I am a human man.
sweet, that works. Cool.
I feel like I used that other disguise a little bit too much, so now I'm like,
Guy Fury one?
no, the half elf one.
Yeah.
So just for now, just a bloke, just
Cool.
a dude.
You're just a everyday Joe.
Yep. My name is Human.
Cool.
Wearing everyday clothes as well, not your
Yeah.
mood.
Yes, yes, regular clothes. So, I'm gonna basically make his head be where like my horns would be. So it's
So that if
he-
someone
he
goes to
actually-
pat his head, they
It's
pat.
pointy.
He actually still has the veil just floating above his head.
no, yeah, just
Sweet.
a regular human dude.
That's cool. So you cast disguise self, and as the hour passes, the sun drops in the sky, and you start to see lights of different colors come on in the different parts of Oxford.
Around, like, my house, would there be room to store the horse and cart?
Yeah. So there is a
I assume we took
Yeah, so
like,
there-
deliveries and...
yeah. So there is a little storage place behind your house, behind the workshop, where boxes of stuff would be stored.
Is it cardboard?
So the streets are quite wide.
Streets are quite wide. There is like carts and stuff that come through here. So yeah, streets are quite wide. So yeah, at the end of the day, you get to the edge of Oxen. There isn't a wall or a boundary. It's just suddenly there because now you see settlements and you see houses and you see all the other different buildings in this part of town, and you know where you're going. Your house is on the eastern part of town, closest. It's one of the closest buildings to the market district itself.
Yeah.
So there is a set of stairs that leads down into the market district, and that's when you know that you're in the market district versus the residential area.
Yeah.
So you go through the streets, and the streets here, they're not sort of cobblestone streets. These are sort of sandstone and that sort of a thing. It's a very it's been it almost looks like it's been made from the ground itself around here. And yeah, so you start to, go through
direct Kellyanne where to go.
You direct Callian through the familiar streets, and it feels good to be home. It's you haven't been here for a month. The last time you were here, not the best of times, but it feels nice. There's
more of an air of safety here
there is.
as compared to
Absolutely compared to
places.
the borough, and those of you that only know the borough as your day-to-day world find it a lot less like shifty. Like the people here just seem normal.
They're gonna say shitty.
that too.
Also,
That too. It's quiet.
Much less
It's
people, much
yeah.
less
It's much
going
less
on.
people, and the people here they're of you see people of all different races, but predominantly you get the sense that there's a lot of halflings and gnomes in this area. So the houses as well are a lot smaller than the ones that you're used to. Not all of them, obviously. You do see a few humans here and there as well. You see a goblin walk past. Not tattered and like twitchy, but like in leathers and just walking about. But yeah, eventually.
Yeah, it's
as
not Toy Town. Don't worry.
We have what, 2 tall people in the party, you 2, and the rest of us are all like
little
5
Little people.
something
Excuse
under
me,
like
I'm my actual height.
5'6".
Some little people. Yeah, no, so
Comparatively.
yes, comparatively.
Ophelia is
Yeah.
5 foot and then 5'5" with the horns. So she's little.
One thing
the
that
same height.
You're both are 4 foot. Yeah.
one
4
thing
foot
that
2.
you guys notice about Oxford is it's very it's got a very Junkertown vibe to it.
Yeah.
Especially in the outer section of the town, as like there's you see a lot of things that are built and purpose built rather than to look good. You see as you get closer to the center of town, you start to see that around the market district area there are posts where usually you would see torches. They have sort of ever burning flames.
Cool.
And you see lanterns, like actual gas lanterns, as rudimentary gas lanterns, not like something you would still need to light the wick.
PG bottles.
Yeah. But you can see a lot of the stuff is built and tinkered with, and there's a lot of metal that you're seeing. You also see a lot of the houses here tend to have where you would see in the backyard, where you would see gardens in regular sort of everyday places, you see a workbench with tools and gears and little bits and bobs everywhere. So that seems to be a common theme around here. And as you approach your house, you see a three-story building?
I said 2, but
2-story building. My bad. You see a 2-story building, which has got at the entrance. So it's at a corner of a set of buildings. At the back, you can see there is a sort of a shed or a storage area, and above the door, it's got a sign which says Traji's Toy House?
toy box.
Toy box. Sorry, my bad. There's Traji's Toy Box. It looks pretty much just as you left it.
I'm gonna go for a walk.
The windows.
Going to go for a walk
I'm gonna go for a walk around town. I'll meet you by the lake.
by the lake.
Well, isn't that the middle of town?
Yeah.
Yeah, down by the docks.
I'll meet you down there.
Okay, I'm more than likely going to stay here.
Okay, I'll meet whoever's coming out down there.
Right.
I'll come down because I know who to speak to.
I'm going for a walk
Well,
around town.
are we gonna just decide whether this house is yours first before you go anywhere? maybe?
Just in case there's trouble.
Well,
I was wanting if you would allow me to just quickly check the front door with my
Sure.
friend.
Kellyanne and I can at least drop these horses off there. They need rest.
yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go for a walk around town, so I'm hopping off and I'm going for a walk around town.
Cool.
Okay.
So you hop off and go for a walk around town.
Yeah.
As Mason leaves, you see the place as you left it. The door's still closed. There seems to be dust on the windowsill.
Cool. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
As we come back into town, I've masked up.
Yeah.
And got my hood back up, jacket back on, actually clothed.
I'll help you lead the horses around the back, unhitch them.
Oh,
everything.
cool.
I'm just gonna carefully take Manibus in my hand, so like have it almost be clinging onto my hand at the front, and then just kind of reach out and touch the door, and then just
Yeah. So you reach out, touch the door, and through your blind sight, you see. What you see is that the lock mechanism on the door is quite different from what you used to. You used just a keyhole lock mechanism, right? This thing seems to have something quite intricate going on at the back. It's a heavy-duty sort of lock, and it is locked. But yeah,
there's no one standing.
there's
waiting
no
on
one
the other side
standing
of the door. Okay.
waiting on the other
Cool,
side
cool,
of the
cool.
door.
That you can see.
I think we're okay.
It does look like it hasn't been touched, which is good.
Yes. You say a month.
Aye.
There should be dust. If we're careful when we open the door, when we go inside, you'd be able to tell if someone's been inside or not.
I mean, I think I would know already.
Fair.
Right. Shall we
I
go?
assume I can unlock the door.
Did you bring your keys?
Yes. I was the last one here. I locked up.
So
Get back in
you
the bar.
You produce the key, and you see that the key itself is, again, different than you used to. It looks just like a metal cylinder. You watch Ro put the metal cylinder into the keyhole and turn it, and that's when you hear something click, and you know that the metal cylinder itself has a few protruding points that come out of it when you turn the handle.
Cool.
And they fit into cylinders into the lock
Sounds
itself.
about right.
Yeah.
Needlessly complicated.
Yeah.
Overly engineered.
Yeah, overly engineered, needlessly complicated lock mechanism, which so it works, and then you know of the way to move the key within the lock to be able to open it.
Yeah.
Which you do, and you hear the little clinking of and grinding of metal parts, and then finally the door ka-chunk unlocks. You push the door open, and you see as you open it, dust start to move. It is exactly as you left it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you step in, nothing seems to have been disturbed.
Perfect. Well, come in.
Oh.
I'll take you upstairs to the house.
All right.
Cool.
As you
I'm
step
still
in,
human.
do you want to describe what the main shop looks like?
So the downstairs is like the front of the shop is definitely like shop-like. There's a little counter space and shelves set up displaying a mix of wooden and metal, like little wind-up toys and music boxes and that sort of thing. Then behind the counter, in kind of an open space where you can still see, like the main part of the shop is a bit of a workshop area with all my dad's tools and his workbench and stuff partially worked on.
Most of you have no idea what these tools are. There's like different sized gears, there's different like metal rods that turn at different angles, and you have no clue what any of this stuff does. But yeah, there is a workbench which seems to have something partially built left on there, something that your dad might have been working on before everything happened. Yeah, and there is a staircase in the back which lets you go up. There's also a back door which opens into effectively the alleyway.
Storage.
Yeah, it's more like the alleyway behind. It's sort of like almost fenced off or short wall alleyway, which there's a gate, which you can bring a cart in, and
Yeah.
there's a storage location there as well.
Once everyone's in, I'll relock the door for now. And then lead everyone upstairs.
You lead everyone upstairs, and as you come upstairs, it looks more like a home. Again, do you want to describe what that looks like as well?
Your stereotypical, like, medieval, or like early English, like, house with a hearth area for cooking, a little bit of like a table and seating area, and then there's a couple of separated spaces which are bedrooms, one for my dad and one for me. There would be like dead flowers in vases at this point.
Yeah.
And you do see a few paintings of a gnome woman on the walls.
The furniture and stuff here is considerably smaller than your average.
Well, I would kind of be used to, right?
Oh, yeah, you would be used to this. Yeah.
This is homely for
Sounds
you.
like
Oh,
ceiling heights and
ceiling
door
height.
heights
Yeah,
stuff.
ceiling heights
a
and
little low.
it's a little. Yeah.
Does my fake face kind of like go into
through.
it a
It'll be
little
alright.
bit?
It's more the
Yeah. It's again. It's not
You know
like.
how I feel, like in real life, where it's like I might have to duck, so I'm gonna duck anyway, but I probably didn't have to.
Yeah.
It's
the
not.
genuinely tall
It's
ones
not.
are probably.
It's not a miniature dollhouse for you by any chance,
Yeah.
but by any means. But it's still smaller than you used to.
Have
It's
you ever been like or seen like old English
Yeah,
cottages
fancy
where
large
everything
doors.
is
That's-
just kind of
Yeah.
smaller?
exactly.
People were smarter.
This is a lovely home.
Thank you.
It's very nice.
I'll kind of start setting up the hearth.
You start setting up the
fire on.
house. How would that?
Are we gonna stay here then?
I mean, we're safe here.
I will drop.
Why do you have the
disguise.
fire on? It's really hot.
I think for
Food.
dinner.
Oh.
We'll
Also,
have
it's
something to eat together.
it's nighttime.
It
It
gets
gets
cold,
very
yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
How
And
dust-
also, yes, food.
how dusty is it up here?
All of the furniture and pretty much everything has a thin layer of dust on it.
I mean, it's only a month. It's not like
yeah,
we can
it's-
just-
yeah.
Ophelia, I would
Yeah.
just say, would you?
Yeah,
like
I'll just
to-
press the station.
Yeah, and we'll just kind
So
of
you do.
go
So
around.
prestidigitation is like 5 feet,
Five
at
feet.
a time. So you just go.
I
around.
like,
Yeah.
it's like her size.
Yeah,
So this
so-
is pretty.
Yeah, you're pretty much like just walking around, like
Yeah.
vacuuming shit, vacuuming up, like magic vacuuming everything. Just go.
If you start on that side, I'll start, and we'll meet in the middle.
Cool.
Sweet. So you guys start to, magic
Clean up a bit.
magic vacuum the room.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only been a month. There's probably like a little bit of food, like cold storage and
Yeah.
like
There'd be whatever was left in
Like
the house when
roots
you
and-
left.
yeah.
Is still there.
Roots and beets.
yeah, stuff that lasts long.
Yes. It's
Dry beans and
these are ice boxes that you're using to store like
yeah.
cold storage. So the ice needs to be changed every now and again.
Yeah.
Which for a month
like
it hasn't.
clonk, clonk, clonk.
Yeah, but for a month the ice ice hasn't been changed. It doesn't have a coolant, so it's
Right,
melted.
yeah.
And I mean, some of it might be salvageable.
At least be like dry storage.
Yeah, pretty much.
stuff. Grains and stuff.
Yeah, there's some food in the house, but it's like,
Yeah.
you might have to go grocery shopping.
Whatever's here, if anyone wants to cook, you're welcome to. Did anyone want to come with me to the docks to find Mason and
Yeah. I'll come with you.
Perhaps if the three of us stayed, I just point to Mara and Ophelia.
yeah, that's fine.
That way we can watch out for ourselves here, and there'll be three of you out there.
As I said, help yourself to anything.
Right. What are the sleeping arrangements here?
Take your pick.
Find a comfy spot.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, I have a bed, but
There's like couches and stuff, right?
Find another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
and there's like rugs and
Nice.
extra blankets and that sort of thing. Probably the only
Sleeping
one
on
that could
bedrolls.
sleep comfortably on my father's bed is you, Mara. Welcome to it. It's little.
while you're sort of, you know,
But it's like a double bed for like a gnome. So like,
while you guys start to sort
Half a
of,
single bed.
you know, unwind and sort of open everything up and all that sort of thing.
I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not good.
While you
Most
guys,
of it's probably pretty bad.
yeah. While you guys do all of that, Mason, what are you doing?
Mason's just wandering around town, just trying to get a feel for town.
Yeah.
As he's walking around, he's looking down all the alleyways to see what's going on, and he's probably seeing fuck all.
Yeah. Which is surprising to you as you sort of look down alleyways expecting to find something horrendous or
A
some
mugging?
mugging, like, whatever goes on in Burrow. But looking down here,
It's no one's stabbing each other.
it's not like you don't see too much going on. You know, it seems pleasantly calm, but that's also slightly unnerving.
It's very unsettling.
Um,
the how not busy it is unsettling. How the just lack of people is just unsettling.
yeah, and it's
And also the lack of poverty
yeah.
is unsettling.
Even at the outskirts where everything's sort of built around like with multiple materials and stuff, it still looks, you know, quite habitable. Like it's not. It doesn't look like squalor. It looks more like this was just something that I put up because I decided to put down my roots.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
But even so, none of it looks like impoverished.
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
None
not
of
at
it
all.
looks like fucking shacks.
Yeah, that's correct. And you know, as you walk past certain people, they look up and they smile at you as they walk past.
I would imagine I'd stick out quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
One, I'm a giant.
Tall
One, I'm
fella.
tall. And
Yeah.
two, I'm green.
Yeah, you do stick out a bit. And what's your
this still
passive
isn't
perception?
the sort of city that it's like a stranger. It's more like, oh, a stranger. Oh.
I'm half old though, and I don't know how
So as
common it is.
as you're sort of walking about, you do see a few humans
Yeah.
every now and again. They're not like super common by any means, but they're around. You can definitely pick out a few because obviously they stick out. But as you're sort of as you're walking past one of the alleyways and you instinctively look down, you see someone sort of ducking past on the other side, almost as if they're like looking and then they're just.
Alright, I just keep walking.
You
My
keep
children
walking.
have followed.
I just
Through
keep,
the
I'm
desert.
dedicated
You keep
to
walking.
walking along, see if I can see that again, or someone else, or any other inkling of
Make a perception check.
other activity. It's already fucking shocking. 4.
You don't notice anything else like that.
Sleep.
It's all disadvantage.
And yeah, as you, is there anywhere in particular that you're going, or
I'm
just sort of
wandering
wandering
around
about?
town. I'm heading towards the center of town. I do want to head into a grocery store because using my brain, someone not being at home for a month, there's going to be no food.
Yeah.
And I've had enough of travel rations.
Yeah.
After my one day on the road.
Uh,
Give me
It's a
some
whole
rest.
bunch
Give
of
me some-
dried beans.
2 days.
I've only had one night on the road.
Yeah, 1 night. Yeah.
1 night, 2 days.
Yeah. So eventually, as you're sort of walking about, on your way back towards the center of town, because I'm assuming you would have done a bit of a lap and then gone back into the center, because the center of town is pretty much across the road from where
Okay.
Rose shop is. So you would have done that sort of a bit of a lap and then gone back towards the center of town, and as you get down the steps, you see the market district effectively. Here, the building, the more sort of, they're generally single buildings. Each of them there's some sort of a place of business.
Yeah.
From the looks of things, and you do see a general store where you can walk in and purchase.
Are there like individual store? Is it just a one general store to sell all of your food goods, or is it like
No, so there's
butchery, fishery?
Yeah, there is a butchery, there is fishery.
I'll just
separate.
meander through a couple of stores and pick up the stuff that I want. So I'll go. I probably won't be much meat, so I'll probably just go pick up some fish and then pick up some whatever produce is around.
I'd say
and just grab some
total
shit.
it'll come up to about 2 silver pieces.
Right.
Because I'm assuming you're buying food for the whole lot.
Yeah.
No, just
Trust
for
me.
yourself, yeah.
Cheers,
I-
bacon.
I
I've got my
tip-
dinner. What are you guys doing for dinner?
I'll tip handsomely,
Cool.
so that I pay 1 gold total.
Oh, because you don't want to have change.
Yep.
Same. I'm always like, I got a gold.
Buy extra.
Well, okay, I'll buy some like extra dried fish so that we can eat better shit on the road and
Yeah.
extra vegetables and crap, so we're not eating shit.
So you do your grocery shopping and start to wander towards the center of town where you see the main sort of central building. And that one's bigger than most of them. It's almost like a it's made of sort of more polished looking sandstone.
Yeah.
Not as crude. And right above where the entrance or the double doors that take you into into this building are, there is a large about 7 foot in diameter gear, which looks like it's not full, like it's about 3/4, and there's 3/4 of it just missing, as in almost looks like it's broken off. But there's that gear.
There are 6 quarters.
What'd you say?
Don't worry.
Okay.
You said
Sorry.
there was 3/4
Yeah.
of the gear and then 3/4 missing.
No, sorry. There's 3/4
Yes, I
of a
understood what
gear.
you
Yeah.
meant. He was being a little
Apologies.
Yeah.
Anyway,
shit. That's usually my job.
yeah, that's what I was expecting it to come from you. It was like unexpected annoyance. Anyway, but yeah, so that seems to be on the above the main doors as you sort of walk through. Not walk through, but wait outside. I'm presuming you're waiting
Yeah, I was
for.
way outside.
When we leave, I'll lock up behind me. I assume that at least one of them can keep the fire going and not burn the house down.
It would be
That's very
Can definitely keep the fire going.
I can definitely get the fire going. I also,
Second part.
I think I know how to cook probably because I've prepared meals and stuff before.
Yeah, you've
So,
cooked
yeah,
before.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not like
you're not a gourmet chef by any means, but you can cook.
No.
You can cook.
You know fire real well.
I'm sure there's like beans
Cooking
and
is
grains,
guaranteed.
and you can have
I can
a bit
figure
of a
something
cowboy
out.
meal.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just like, I found tea. That's all we need.
It's all ducking.
Oh, there'll be wine.
I do observe the process very carefully and watch step by step.
Why are
what's
you
happening.
watching me cook? This is so
Oh, they're busy.
nerve-wracking.
was
There'll
that?
be things that we haven't had in a while, like on the road, like salt. And, like,
While they're busy, I sneak downstairs and grab some toys and I bring them upstairs.
You grab a couple of toys. They're wind-up toys. So, like, you grab one which looks
my
like
toys aren't adequate.
Ooh.
But I have a collection.
you grab a wooden one which looks like a cart, and a metal one which looks like a horse. The horse is wind up and it connects to the cart.
Do any of them explode?
To find out.
It moves along by itself occasionally as Mara's just looking at it.
And yeah,
Oh, I love that. Just
Takara.
Takara's like.
I ritual cast detect magic.
I'm just sniffing
Like,
at
half is
various
pulling the
herbs
horse
and
back.
shit, like trying to figure out what stuff is, and I'm like, okay, what can we make with
Turns out
this?
he's like 7 in demon years.
You're just having a tantrum.
It's actually 30,000, but
Yeah.
And
7
demon
and
years.
demon.
Yeah, I was like 7.
by dog years.
He's not even weaned yet.
Still suckles on the teeth of Mother Demon.
Stop!
okay.
Oh,
Mother Demon.
So I
Well, you always just have to take that last little bit, you guys.
will lead Callian down to
You lead Callan down and
the central
you
area.
start to make your way to the thing. You get a few looks because
Yeah.
people haven't seen people that look like you very often.
Yep.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you start to make your way towards the center of town where you know that Mason's going to be meeting you. While you wait, Mason,
How many fights do I get in?
all of the fights. There's just bodies everywhere.
But like just with like gnomes though.
It's when the two of you get there, it's just like 3 gnomes stacked on top of each other, just like
In a trench coat.
no trench coat, no
I
trench coat.
actually just punch them all into the lake.
It's like that
Pick the
whole
one
thing
up
is
from the
like,
bottom, and
would
then they
you
just drop
rather
down, and then kick the
fight,
next one.
like one horse-sized duck or like
100 duck-sized
100
ones.
duck side horses.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The answer is 1. You want to fight one thing.
action economy. That's what it's about.
Yeah, yeah.
You can be easily overwhelmed with 100 creatures.
Anyway.
Intimate creatures.
Oh my god.
Well, the horses can't climb. So
Okay, yeah.
They can
Right, well.
and have teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, please continue.
While you wait
Yeah.
at the town center, you're approached by
hungry.
what is a human man in just a normal sort of grey cloak. He walks up to you and he says, "Oh, don't see too many of you. Don't see too many of your kind here. You new in town? Like passing through?"
Yeah, passing through. Looking for a way up the river.
I haven't seen the steamboat come through in a while.
Do you know if they're in or if they're out?
They're currently out. As you'd want to talk to the dockmaster, and
Yeah, I'm waiting for friends who are more acquainted with the town.
Of course, you guessed if someone's here.
Yes. I am, briefly.
Well, you'll find people here quite helpful. So, should you need anything,
Will do.
um,
you.
Mason's
with
like,
your
Would you like to buy a watch?
with your
Or a cell phone?
Your hands like on your belt, like your purse, like.
with your
"Joe,
passive
you come here."
perception,
Yeah.
you notice a silver ring on the
Uh,
finger. The same one that
right.
you did from the burrow.
I put my hand on my pouch.
Cool. Alright. So he just sort of makes
Yeah.
a little bit of small talk with you, and then he greets you. Well, have a nice day, and he sort of.
You too. Where could I find you if I have more questions about the town?
I'm usually around here, but there is a building, and he gives you directions to an orphanage.
Yeah.
Which
I'll actually
is
just
on
I'll just do this. I'll rub my finger where with the hand the same place where his ring is.
Mhm. And so he sees. You watch his eyes flick to it, and
Yeah.
then he meets your eyes. He says, "Oh, good. Just come round to the orphanage and let them know you're a friend."
Will do.
And he turns around and walks off.
Belt pouch feel the same weight.
Feels about the same
What
way.
about pouch?
Thank God.
But yeah. He basically gives you directions to an orphanage that's on the sort of northeastern side of town, and then you wait.
Yep.
Eventually, you and Callian show up, and you see Mason there with a bunch of bags, groceries in his hands. He's just standing, waiting around.
just little plastic shopping bags.
No, I don't use single-use plastic bags. I have a paper bag, thank you very much.
Holding like.
Yeah.
Just picture like an armful of potatoes, and another one just like links and meat, and he's just like,
I just like.
I went shopping.
Yeah. So you're
I bought steaks.
the two of you manage to come up, and you see you see Mason.
bag of fish.
Finished your walk?
Yep. Shall we go inside?
Yes.
Sure.
Sweet. So you manage to make your way into the main town center, and you come into what is effectively a reception. It's a large foyer area with a couple of waiting desks and waiting benches, and at the far end of it is a desk where there is one older female gnome sitting at the desk, hair tied up in a bun, but then it's just frizzing out the back. These little glasses perch on the tip of a long, sort of almost beaked nose. She seems to be sort of looking over a couple of different books that are open in front of her. Ledgers of some sort, you'd gather. There's an ink pot next to her, and she's dipping.
I'll go up to her.
She looks up and you says, "Hello.
Good evening.
Evening.
Is the dockmaster in?
I'll have to check." And she starts to flip through some pages. "We think he's available. Is there anything I can help with?"
Unless you can tell me when the next steamboat is due.
"Of course." And she sort of,
Apparently they're not in town at the moment. They're out.
she flips through. "You're right. It's left about a week ago. So we're expecting it back in about 3 days."
Perfect. Thank you very much.
"And where will you be heading?"
To my home? Oh, on the boat?
"On the boat."
Oh.
We just want to cross the bro.
It goes from here to either Hollowhome or the Babylon Barrow.
Is
They're
there
not stopped.
is there the ability for it to just drop us off on the other side of the river? That's all we're after.
Best place to cross would be the Barrow.
We don't want to travel that far.
And where is it that you're going? If you don't mind me asking.
We're looking for a fast way to Folly.
I see. I'll have to ask the captain. If
We can pay.
Yeah.
We're more than welcome to make it worth his while for an extra stop.
it will depend on his schedule when he gets back. I'll double check with
I
him.
mean, all we need to do is to get some people off board, and he can continue on his way. It shouldn't take long. We can move quickly.
Of course.
Just yeet ourselves off the
I mean, yeah, worst case scenario.
worst case,
As
we
in-
can.
Send.
It is a boat with a large wheel at the back. You can't get
Too close.
too
Oh.
close to the bank.
Well, if we can get as
no.
close as we can possibly swim the rest.
Some of us could swim.
If you're sure.
If it's shallow,
How far do you reckon we could throw Mara?
What?
I can help.
And me.
I can help Mara the rest of the way.
How far could Mara?
We'll bring floaties.
Also fair.
If you're sure, I'll ask the captain. And
Please do.
Yeah, that's
you'd need to pay in advance to book a spot. There's limited space.
That's fine. Are we able to confirm first whether we could get off?
Sure. You're welcome to come back in 3 days, but I can't guarantee there'll be slots open.
Or is there a messenger?
How
that-
much is this? How much is a spot?
I mean, worst case, we book a path to Hollowhome, and then
True.
if we can get off early, we get off early. But
It's usually about 3 silver per head.
Fine. We'll book for 6.
Of course.
Here's 2 gold.
She goes. Right.
these weren't
She
big
writes.
enough
She
to
basically
pass,
writes
were they?
you a receipt for it, and she
Cool.
hands you a piece of parchment.
Is there perhaps a messenger that could just deliver a message to Chargie's toy box and let
Of
us
course. Is Tragy back in town?
know? No, but I'm his daughter.
Oh, I don't think I've seen you around before. But well, tell him I said hi. Tell him
I'll let him
Eileen.
know.
Tell him Eileen says hi.
I will do.
Bow, bow.
kind of like squint. Will do.
Is that a very enthusiastic couple?
She seems just
He's
it's
popular.
yeah, like people know who he is.
Yeah.
But these
Yeah.
boats aren't big enough for carts, are they?
Yeah, this was.
No.
I was going to.
Yeah.
All right, I'll send someone to a toy box?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's still on business in the bar.
Of course. Do you know when he's back?
Unsure at this stage. Hopefully soon.
Do you happen to know of anyone in town that works for the Valier Trading Company?
Yes, they've got a building. And she gives you directions to one of them, and it's she basically tells you that it's one of the buildings with the water wheels on the outside.
Yep.
One of those is owned by the Valier Trading Company.
Awesome, thank you.
Probably
Thank you
best
very
to
much.
wait till the morning.
Yes, it's just.
Is
I just
there
wanted-
anything
thought
else
I'd
that
ask
I-
someone.
Is there anything else I can do?
No, that's perfect. Thank you. I look forward to your message.
Have a good evening.
You too. And I'll lead them back to
Cool.
the house for now.
So you guys head out and start to head back. Yeah.
Assume the odd look I'm getting is just much more of a.
Yeah.
That's different.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Just like,
like it's one of those, and then you see some people walking with children. The children sort of just look at you and sort of wonder.
It's like when kids look at people with coloured hair and they're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're
You
just
have a
doing that.
cold face.
Yeah, they're effectively just doing that. Looking at you. Yeah,
Look, Daddy,
looking
it's
at
a
your hair,
deer
like-
man.
Pretty much.
except he's green and red. Oh.
Yeah.
Christmas deer.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't walk around the town.
Yep.
As you
For various reasons.
as you start to head back, you suddenly catch a glint in next to one of the buildings, and you see someone in a sort of that grey cloak, and you see them sort of the glint is coming off of the ring, and they seem to be sort of intentionally sort of trying to get your attention with that.
Same guy.
Not the same guy.
Do I recognize this person?
You've seen them around. You've seen them around the guild before. You've never actually met.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of those sort of people in the guild. The only person that you actually knew was Brax, and it was one of those
Yeah.
things where it's- yeah.
Maybe we'll find out some more information. I'll head
So
over to
on.
them.
So you head over to this, and this is a human man, sort of almost greyish skin. He's got like a strip of black hair going back and tied into a braid. Wearing sort of those standard issue black leather.
Yeah. Same thing I'm wearing.
Pretty much. Standard issue black leather with the ring on his finger.
Evening.
Says, "Evening. You must be raw."
Aye.
Aureus sent me. He said, when you get a chance, make your way over to the guild.
I will do.
You know Aureus to be the
Leader?
guild master,
Yeah.
effectively.
I just get these folks home.
Of course. These folks are with you,
Aye.
and those staying at your house,
Aye.
off limits then,
Off limits.
of course.
Very off limits.
Of course.
I'm not wearing a disguise inside the house.
Doesn't matter.
Can't imagine you just like hanging in the windows. Being
No, but
This is a code, man.
There's no honor among thieves.
Right.
That's a lie.
There is here.
Have a good evening. And he turns around and walks off.
Anyone who wishes to come can come with me. Otherwise, you know how to get back.
We're allowed to come.
There's nothing stopping you.
It's just an orphanage.
Could be interesting.
I was holding the key.
As you look up, there is this crazy, weird flying device.
The human just gets on this like big steam powered thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Starts to
gnomes
pedal
like-
really, really hard.
Yeah. It's just one of those like Men in Black style like giant single wheel motorbikes.
You're with me?
Yeah.
I'll go back to the house.
I give you the key.
Cool. I have our key.
Cool.
Do you explain how to use the key?
I will very quickly be like,
Because
okay,
Mason hasn't even seen you use it. He'll walk up to the door and
It's
just
the
be
key. How hard could it be?
like, here's the 32-step
yeah, I give you a
Have
vague
manual.
If you get really stuck, just knock on the door. They should be able to open it from the
Alright,
inside.
I'll break the window.
Please don't.
Cool. So you head back to the house, and the two of you heading off to the
Yeah.
orphanage.
Yep.
Cool. So the two of you manage to start to make your way there. As you head off to the
Please
house,
try to get jumped all the way back to the house.
as
Probably
you
not.
as you start to head back to the house, and the two of you head to the orphanage while the rest of you stay home cooking. Is there anything that the ones that are staying home cooking? Is there anything you guys are doing in particular, or
I'm just sort of trying to figure out what to make with the little supplies that
The
we've
nothing.
got
You got
going.
beans and rice, man.
Yes.
I'll
Mexican.
I'll assist like where I can.
It's okay, you're about to get a bounty.
Give it
These
5
carrots
minutes.
are like sort of, you know,
You can bend them in a full circle.
they're not super withered, so it's probably fine.
Stewing carrots.
But after a while, after getting in the way a little bit too much, Hessel's just gonna like back off.
You spilt the rice.
Yeah.
Stop!
So he's like, "You're a fish person. How do you burn water?"
I'm like, okay, just put the water on boil, and you're just like,
just kind of
Just shake water onto the fire.
I imagine he just like tips the water.
yeah onto the fire. Yeah. Fire goes out, and then have to spend the time like restarting it because I only try and do it with the flint. After all of that madness, I'll just kind of excuse myself.
Although now I'm picturing shake water with just a ball of boiling water.
Very deep
oh
bows.
god, that's
Yeah.
a really good spell idea.
And then I'm just going to go out to the window, like one of the windows overlooking, and just
wall.
kind of just keep checking outside to make sure that there isn't anyone in the robes that we saw. And the actually no, I didn't see, but were described to us.
which ones? Oh,
The
the green
whites.
robes.
White robe.
Oh no, the
Yes.
white robe guys.
As in-
Ah,
as in-
yeah, right. The ones that are after
Effectively,
you. Right.
I'm keeping an eye out for the reserve to make sure
Sweet,
that
okay.
there isn't anyone here.
That's cool.
Yeah. So just
Yep.
peering outside,
Make a
but
perception
still,
check.
but still obviously with disadvantage because
how
I'm
checks
still
work.
exhausted as well. So that's a cool. Look at that. One of them was a 4.
The other die, but
So 6 in total.
You keep an eye out. You don't really notice too much.
It's
You don't even,
dark outside.
like to the point where you don't even notice Mason come back.
Yeah. It's probably to the point where it gets dark, and then after a while, I'm just kind of looking at my reflection in the
Yeah,
glass
pretty
for a
much.
good while, and just kind of contemplating everything that happened yesterday,
Yeah.
and just getting lost in the moment. And then
Pretty much.
rest in peace.
When did the sun go down?
you're back.
Did I get in the front door?
Yeah, you
Okay.
try. Roll a roll an intelligence
Sleight
check.
of hand?
Nah, roll an intelligence check.
Oh, they're both bad.
Yep.
They're both fucking shocking.
He's gonna break my door.
It's less than 5.
We just heard someone trying to like.
Yeah, you
It's a 3.
you get the key in the door, and you get the spokes on the key to
Fucking
actually to extrude, but you try to like you start thinking of like the combination of movements that Rode taught
That you were half listening
If
to.
it-
yeah.
I won't push it so that if it
Yeah.
feels weird, I'm not going to break it.
Yeah,
or
after
I'm not
like
fucking
you get the
moron.
first couple of
Somehow
moves,
gets
and then
the
you
key
try the next
upside
one. And you say,
down.
no, that it doesn't seem to budge. It doesn't seem to move that way, and you're trying to just like wiggle it in the lock for a bit, and then you go, nah, this isn't working. And
I guess also if
bang,
I
bang, bang, bang in the door.
yeah, you
Because
hear
I
the,
wouldn't have heard the wriggling as well because
Yeah.
it's too lost, and then
yeah, and you hear
It's
the
like knife.
yeah, you hear the banging on the door.
I'll go check. Mara just.
I assume there's a
I'm-
little leg.
There is a little
I'm not there.
yeah.
Oh.
You're there.
Oh shit! So yeah, I go Mara, fuck, and then just
Yeah,
There's a little like
There's-
one of the little like peepholes.
yeah. There's a little peephole, and it says
See like Mason's chest.
It's fucking pick.
and I'll
like, ah, okay.
yeah,
Speckled brown or
open the
something.
door.
yeah. You open the door, and Mason like
Welcome.
I take the key out
yeah,
so that it's not left in the front door.
yeah.
Got your groceries.
Yeah.
I'll relock it behind.
The inside mechanism is easy.
It's
just like a,
yeah, it's just like a yeah.
I do that.
Yeah,
I do the thing.
you do the thing.
So I go upstairs and I give Ophelia the. I brought
It's like,
things.
Yes.
I brought supplies.
It's probably a good thing. I don't think I helped very much.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
There's some stuff for the road as well that should keep longer.
I'll work with some of that.
Just like, Hessel, just stay over there.
So actually, could I have a word?
Of course, yes. Here, somewhere more.
I just want to come on and talk with you, somewhere slightly more private. Should we go downstairs to the workshop?
The workshop, yes.
Everyone wants a piece of Hessel.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys go down to the workshop and you start to, and you're, alone.
I just take a seat.
You said you might be able to make me also dead for a bit.
Yes. Theoretically, yes.
Can you do it?
It would take time to prepare, and
We've got some time.
yes, water is a necessary medium for me.
Maybe they have a very small bath.
Don't recall if there was a bath here, but
It's like one of those like
It's
Japanese
very
like sitting ones.
there is.
Oh, it is for Mason.
It would be good to have someone potentially watching over us should anything go wrong, because I would accompany you.
Did you have someone watching over you?
Yes, I did, Ophelia, but
Or you could watch over me.
yes, my intention would be to follow you, to help guide you. You would be alone for a while, but I would be able to follow. Lasts for around an hour.
Is it dangerous?
Well, you will be submerged beneath the water. If you do take a breath, you would die for real. So that is a potential hazard. Not so much a hazard for myself, but...
I meant more the...
Oh,
You're accompanying me. Do I need accompaniment? Is it
I don't...
dangerous?
I don't know. I've always felt like I was between both worlds. Whether or not it's easy for you to... I would feel comfortable knowing that I was with you. That you were not going into that place alone, because it's not kind.
I grew up in a very not kind world.
That's true. It's more... Perhaps... Because I heard you, I worry. I think we're all drawn to what lies beyond. And I want to be that tether, in case.
Shall we have dinner? Because I think that Ro and Killian may be a while.
Yes.
And then the four of us could head down to the lake.
That's a fine idea. My stomach is currently trying to eat itself.
Right.
But yes, we can.
How fast moving is the...
The river?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lake's only just over the road.
Yeah, the lake's not just
It's
over.
right there.
The lake's not too far. It's like not even a 10-minute walk
Easy.
to get to it.
You go to public space and
Shall
drown.
we, go back up. Perhaps you might have more luck
Just being
assisting
baptized. It's
It's
fine.
fine.
Ophelia than I did.
I will go and help Ophelia cook.
Burnt water.
Wow.
Even do I didn't.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know
It's on
either.
you.
It's-
That's
It's
some
canon
magic
now that
stuff.
Hessel
I
cannot cook at all.
That's some magic voodoo there that you did. That's the hoodoo that you do.
You go back up and you start to help Ophelia.
It was like,
yeah.
Mara, you doing anything?
I can cook.
At some point, you'll see just Mara in one of the like kind of off rooms on the second floor, just sitting there just playing the toys in a dark area.
Oh, just in a dark room.
I'm gonna, seeing if I catch her when I come back up, I'll just go in and just melt the bottom of my candle and then just set that up on the ground and just, would you mind if I joined you?
Just hand one of the.
And the pony.
I hope that's the train and not the. No, it's not a pony. It's a cart. I'm making
That's
train
a cart,
noises.
yeah.
Trains aren't a thing. I'm making spinning robot death ball noises.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that
thinking.
works.
That's what I'm thinking.
That works.
I'm familiar with those.
Yeah.
Back out of the time vortex.
Hansel's having an existential crisis.
I've seen things on the other side.
So
As-
many things.
As two of you cook
Genie syndrome.
and two of you play,
Yes.
whereas and two of you take a walk. We'll take our first break. So you've all arrived at Oxon and have made your way to Rose's house. A couple of you are cooking, a couple of you are playing, the others are on a walk. While the house guests relax and kick back for a bit,
Please let us know when our food is done cooking.
will do. We're gonna go to you guys. You're making your way to the orphanage, the one that you've spent quite a bit of time at, and as you get closer and closer, you know everything's more and more familiar. And when you get to the gates, it's this it's a very nondescript looking building, about 4 stories, and it literally just has the word orphanage on top of it. It doesn't. There's no name, none of that. It's just
Honest, I swear it's an orphanage.
and yeah. So you open the
Don't
door.
believe it.
You open the door and walk in, and it's sort of a reception area. There's a desk, and there is a man behind it who seems to be just sort of, again, working through some ledgers and sort of looks like he's finishing up for the day and, packing stuff away. He looks over at you and there's a look of recognition, and he says, "Ah, Audius is expecting you.
So I've heard.
Downstairs, you know where it is." And you start to, and you follow.
Yeah.
As you walk past the guy behind the desk, again gives you the look that you've gotten accustomed to at this stage.
What the?
Evening.
Evening. And
Oh,
walk past. Roy leads you down along to a corridor which then has stairs that go down to the basement. As you make your way down to the basement, you're greeted by the familiar sort of metal door with a series of locks. As you get to the bottom, the little sliding part of the middle of the door just opens. There's a pair of eyes that looks out. Audius is expecting you. And
Yeah.
you
got
hear
that.
you hear a series of locks just and the door opens as you guys enter. And suddenly there's a shift in the decor. It's no longer just this sort of drab looking orphanage. It's now sandstone on the sides, torches on the walls, leading down a corridor. Aureus's chambers to be at the end of this corridor, which you get to, and the corridor splits off into 2 if it goes further down. You don't know how far down it goes. As you get to the end of it, on your right, there is a spiral staircase going down, and on the left also there is a spiral staircase going down to the far end of the corridor. Doors on either side. The one that you're standing in front of, though, sort of arched door with again you can see the same sort of series of locks. You knock and you hear the locks just open, and the door opens and you step inside. The man that opens the door is the same one that greeted you, that greeted the two of you earlier. And as you walk in, behind
the one that was like at the other door, I'm just like, how did you get here?
no, the one that sorry, the one that met you in the town earlier. He opens the door, lets you in, and he looks towards the table and he says, "I will be back later," and steps out and closes the door. At the desk, you see the familiar, very thin, almost malnourished, to the point where her cheekbones are sort of protruding, and she's got these sort of long, bony fingers with the ring on the finger. You can see that her ring has an additional sort of slightly raised band on one side. And she looks at the two of you, and she sort of, again, graying brownish skin, sort of frizzy kind of hair, which is tied up in a tight bun. She's wearing a long black robe. She sits in front of you and she says, "Good evening, Ro.
Good evening.
I take it your mission at the Valiers was successful."
I don't know that you could say that.
And why is that?
It's been interesting. I seem to have been pulled into something more than what I bargained for.
I have not heard back from Isa, so I don't have a report of what has happened. I heard you were back in town, so I would like to know what the situation is.
I'll give her like a little bit of a rundown of
Pretty
the
much
events
everything.
and why we left.
Yeah, anything that you're...
Are you telling her why exactly we left?
I'll just say that there is someone in our party that...
And who might this someone be?
A friend.
Anyone that we would know?
Someone that's under my protection.
Is it someone that we should know?
Someone you may recognize, but she's not to be touched.
You understand that certain requests cannot be denied.
I understand.
Is this person such a request?
I don't think so.
Roll a persuasion check.
20, soft.
You watch her sort of relax a little bit. She says, "I will take your word for it."
She's of minor interest. And she belongs to Valier.
That does complicate things if the request came from somewhere else. Are you willing to disclose which one of our requests this is?
How well do I know this woman? Or like...
You don't have... she was the one who initially, took you in. She's the one who runs the orphanage as well as this branch of the Thieves Guild. But you don't know her. Like, you haven't spent too much time. Yeah, you haven't spent too much time with her because obviously she's running the place. She's always been an authority figure, and you've always known that this is a person you don't want to get on the bad side of. But and you know her also to be very like, this is my family. This guild and all the people inside are my family, are my people. But there are lengths that I will go to protect them, but there's also things outside of that which will get her to do what's needed. So she's so that's around about what you know about her. But yeah.
You said she's like particularly
Gaunt, yeah.
looking. Does it look like there's any particular reason for said gauntness? She look particularly old?
Yeah, she looks
Reasonably
older. Yeah, there's greys in her hair and stuff like that. But yeah, she
Definitely
looks.
human. I'm not there.
What's your passive perception?
With my current disadvantage, it's 10. It's
Okay.
usually 15.
And your passive perception is?
14.
You would have noticed this over your time here. When like her hair, it generally covers her ears, but you've seen before that it would have been elven ears, but they've been clipped or trimmed. So yeah.
Can I just, at some point while they're talking, just have Ice Shimmer and just do Divine Sense?
That
Just-
tells you celestials, undeads, aberrations, fiends.
Yeah, that's it.
In what range?
These are scary questions.
60 feet, that is not behind total cover, so it's basically...
Okay, so anything in this room. Yeah, you don't sense any of that in this room.
Forgive me.
Don't like that answer.
No, I don't like that answer either.
I understand that I'm loyal to you, but at this point, I'm also owned by Valier.
And I totally understand that. It is... I will take your word for it.
At this
But-
point, just understand I'm protecting his asset, whether I like it or not.
That is understandable. However, should I find that this person is of value to us to the point where we are able to go above and beyond Valier, I will not have a choice.
I understand.
Good. Now, the real reason that I asked for you here, I assume you are on your way. I assume that you are not sticking around. I
We
know
are
your
passing
situation.
through, yes.
Currently, Brax is on a confidential assignment for the guild. And he has sent back reports of a new faction that is starting to make a presence here in Elijah. From my research of this organization, I have come to learn that they could, if let to grow, turn into a bit of a threat. The higher-ups want as many eyes out there as possible. Little is known about them. They go by the moniker of the Oathkeepers. They're a group that come from Marine. As I said, little is known about them, but most of their members seem to wear deep green cloaks and she opens one of her drawers and pulls out a brooch which she puts in front of you, and it's a circular brooch with a an olive branch which is breaking an arrow. If you see any of these, this came into our possession through normal methods of pickpocket, and we have yet to subdue one of these people. Should you come across someone like this, I understand that you are with companions.
Kellyan.
Oh yes. I understand you're with companions, and from what I hear of reports, your companions are capable. They can handle themselves.
Aye.
Sway back and forth slightly, heat stroke.
Resting it. You're really sunburnt. Does it like? Does that make you like brown?
Darker green, I guess, again. Like.
I would like you to, and I've mobilized others to do the same, I would like you to subdue one of them and learn as much as you can by whatever means possible.
I see. And at this point, what have they done to?
As far as reports go, they're smuggling in some rather valuable goods that a lot of our buyers, a lot of our clients feel that we are not able to source. Artifacts, creatures, etc.
Is this the entire guild or just our branch?
The entirety of the guild. This is an order that has come from the higher ups.
One thing I did find was, while in the Barrow, their guild is not like ours, or their branch.
At the end of the day, we look after our own. We may be part of the larger organization, but we have our own ways. It is why I would take you for your word when you say your companion is not of interest. Others might not be so keen.
No, I can imagine. It was deadlier.
From what I've heard from my counterpart in the Barrow, apparently he needs to be. The Barrow doesn't seem like such a nice place.
That's coming from the head of the thieves. The Burrow sounds like a shitty place. Wow.
I told you it's different here.
Yeah.
They're just so nasty.
These people kill you, they stab you in the front.
I feel like you have a better handle on our people here.
Sometimes fear is not necessary to keep people in line. But, should it be needed, I'm not beyond going that way.
I know.
Good. Is there anything you need while you're here?
If I could, I assume that they have like supplies to top up, like
Yeah,
If I could-
anything you can find at general
Yeah.
goods, you can most likely
if I could
find
top
here.
up my kits, that's
It shall be arranged. I will send someone with supplies to the toy box.
I heard kids.
So
I'm
did
thinking-
I.
We're like just in an orphanage. She's just like, I'll take this one and this one, just sticking them in a bag.
actually.
They're good distractions.
I've
gnome children particularly handy to transport.
Earned somewhat of a following in the Burrow amongst the children. If there was to be anyone going that way anytime soon, they could be put to use.
And where would we find these children?
I'll give her the address. As long as they're taken care of. They're good kids.
But not like taken care of. Like, taken care of.
I will look into it.
They have eyes around the city and they're not noticed.
As I said, I will look into it. I will send somebody to see what we can potentially gain from having this
Think of them as a
extended
network.
branch or a network. Alright, supplies will be sent your way. Brax asked me to let you know that he apologizes for not making his way to the Burrow, but as I
I'm
said,
glad he didn't. It was unkind.
unfortunately, Valier can be a rather cruel man.
So I've learned. If you find any information about what I'm seeking,
You watch her sort of hands sort of drift up to her ears and slightly, just involuntarily drift up to her ears and sort of. I understand your situation.
do you? Because I don't.
Cassant Valier is someone who thinks about 150 steps ahead of literally everyone around him. Do not underestimate him. He may be a rich noble, but he is dangerous.
That I've understood. But I know the truth.
Until and unless he sees it that way.
I understand that too. Which is why, if you hear anything,
I will keep my eyes and ears open. The guild is at your disposal, as per usual. We will do what we can. Is there anything else?
if you do hear from Brax again, just tell him I'm okay.
There's a good chance we won't hear from Brax for another couple of months at the very least. He's indisposed, so to speak.
Well, if you do.
Take a look at the bounty board or some of the other assignments that we have if you are looking to make a little bit of coin.
Sounds good.
From the sounds of things,
We are
have
doing a bit
hefty-
of travel. Ah.
Sorry.
Yes, that. Yes, anything extra.
It's not a small sum of money.
No. No, it's not. The
How
only
you-
other thing, if you could see that my house remains untouched.
There is a reason no one has been able to go through.
If it could stay that way.
It will.
Thank you.
Can I speak to you in private?
I'm sure
problem.
that's fine.
And as you head out and
Yeah, does it just
Yep.
open?
yeah, it's
Sort of billion locks down there.
no, it's open. So as you step
You
out,
have to pass a test to get out, which is all the laws.
Yeah.
it's open, and the guy that was originally in here is standing outside and just waiting there for him to come out.
Close behind me.
As as part of making sure that one of our own was taken care of, I sent one of the members to investigate within the toy box after you left, just in case we miss it, just in case something was missed. And they came across this, and she thing and pulls out a rolled up piece of parchment, which she unfolds and puts in front of you. It looks like, and when you look at it, it looks like schematics. And it looks to be schematics for different types of the automaton you guys came across in the desert.
Where did you find it?
It was well hidden. There's a compartment on the floor under your father's desk. Your
Unlikely
workbench.
to have been placed there then.
I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just showing you what was found.
I know what my father's capable of, and if he did have something to do with it, he didn't.
As I said, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. This is what was found, and I thought best to take it away before Valier's men came to plant any evidence. We have been keeping an eye on your house for that very reason. We understand how dangerous Valier is.
Trust me, I know that.
We work with him, but it's out of necessity.
I understand that too.
Do you know anything about this?
I fought one.
You fought one. Where did you fight one? That one of these is in the Babbling Burrow?
Again, I'll run through like the desert thing.
Yeah. I wasn't aware that this was something that he might have prototyped. It looked like just plans. This is not complete.
There was another one we found in the desert. I don't think it was dead.
If that is the case, then whoever is building this, but whether it's Traji or somebody else,
I don't think it is, because he's tied to the outside of a building.
You could have built it in the past.
whoever it is that is working on this has more plans. This cannot be built in this state. This is effectively a planning document. It is nothing more than a brainstorm. If you come across any more of these things, report it back to someone and get them to get the message to me.
My concern is that they are Valiers. I can't put myself or Trashy at risk.
Of course. However, this was already in the house. It wasn't something that was placed. We didn't see anyone going in. This was already inside the house.
If we find more, I'll send word when I can.
All right. If there is anything else that you need while you're here,
Honestly, this is just layers upon layers of mess.
it would seem that way.
This is more than I ever thought I'd be involved in.
Sometimes
I
necessity.
appreciate the protection, but to be honest, I never thought I'd be this involved with you lot either.
It seems you're in the deep of it, so you might as well embrace it.
Joy. Thank you. I'm fine. If you could just send the supplies, that's...
I will
all
have
we
this.
need.
I will have the supplies sent over.
I'll just make my exit.
And she rolls that up and puts it back into the.
I'll grab Callian and head to the bulletin board.
Yep.
While we were in that room, is there anything interesting of note around the room, or
Make a
was it-
perception check.
It's a nat 20 and a 9, so it's a thing.
Disadvantage.
Yep. So 14.
In the room while you were in there, the only it was a very simple room. It seems it was that way by design. Just a desk with a bookshelf behind it. Bookshelf didn't have books. It had stacks of papers. They were all rolled up. You couldn't really see what was on any of them. But that was, other than that, it was a bare room.
Is it more like a meeting room rather than...
No,
an
it seemed like an
office?
office.
Oh.
It seemed like an office, but it was completely
Purposefully
bare.
Very
nothing of
minimalistic.
note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I want to check first if there's any of the wanted posters for Ophelia.
Yep. So as you get to the bulletin board, which is on the other side of... So it's on the other side of the reception area. You go through it. You go through a hallway and one of the rooms, and there is effectively like a cafeteria mess hall. And in that mess hall there is a bulletin board. And it's got the wanted poster for Ophelia. The gold value on it is currently 5,000 gold pieces.
Oh, it's going up, huh?
And it is placed on the top of the wanted board, which along with like two other pictures.
Just need to wait about a year and a half and then you'll cover our debt.
That's when we'll turn you in.
Yeah. We're just waiting for it to rise high enough to make it worth it, you know.
Yeah. So and there's three posters or job notices effectively at the top. So you know the notice board to be in three
Priority.
tiers.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones the high up top is high value, high
Send the
priority,
poster again to the group chat
Yeah.
that I made.
and the viewers will see an image of it
Someone-
either here or here.
I'll have to change the price on it though.
Right on top of Vanette's face.
Oh,
In the mess hall sort of area, is there anybody in there at the moment?
No, it's late enough to where it's like post dinner and people just left.
Sweet. I'm gonna
There
take
were
all.
there were two other ones?
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
three posters up at
I'm gonna take all three of the top posters, and if there's any sort of like the lower tiered ones that are around where I know that we're gonna be making
the low tier
stops.
posters seem to be more for like sort of petty theft or
local stuff, or like mid tier stuff then.
Yeah, mid tier stuff is more about procuring certain items, like look for this or specific poisons or specific materials and stuff like that. So it's the mid tier ones are
Any of them looking for stuff that we might have on us?
nah. It's sort of
Unique stuff.
unique
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
might be Didn't take note of that.
But yeah.
Do some side quests.
Is there any that are sort of like from around the areas that we're going?
No, so generally
They're
the way it
all local?
works is the people that place the orders are generally anonymous, except for specific ones which like to throw around their
Their names.
names.
It's more of a I want this poison. Get it for me. Don't
Pretty
care
much.
where from. Don't care
Yeah,
how. Just
it's like a
find it
no
for me.
questions
I wanna
asked,
use this.
get me this kind of a thing. So, the mid-tier ones, there's at the moment just one. You get the sense that a lot of them have been taken. The one that's on there at the moment is for basilisk venom.
I'll take that anyway.
Cool. So you'll grab that, and the 3 posters up on the top. One is for Ophelia. The other one is for what looks to be a bald, what looks to be a Goliath man, with a sort of scar going all the way from here all the way down there. And it seems to be for a Goliath man. It just it doesn't say who it's by. It says it's basically a kill order, which is basically this man needs to die, and the bounty on that is about 2,000 gold pieces.
Does it have a name?
And what's the
It doesn't have a name. It just has the description of it.
third
Mine
one?
doesn't have a name on it either.
The third one is for high value items, and it's for the cold sack of a white dragon.
Cool. Okay.
So, but yeah, so it
Can we reach through games and just take it? We're not
Don't
using
you
it up
fucking touch it.
Cool.
Not
Okay.
that
yeah.
So take all those and then
Oh,
take
wow.
the basilisk
The one that's
venom
already
one,
I'll allow that.
and then we'll head back to
Cool.
my place.
So, you take one of each. So it's basically in a stack that's been pinned onto the thing. So you take,
Can I take the whole stack of Ophelia's?
yeah. There's nobody around, so you grab it.
Yep.
Cool. And you head back out. You start to make your way home.
Only slightly obvious if she walks into that room.
Cool. So while they're having this conversation and, working out what's what, what are the rest of you doing?
And then we're finished making food.
So we've made dinner, eaten dinner,
Yeah.
set some aside for the others. While we're eating, Ophelia, me and Hessel want to go for a swim in the lake. Do you mind keeping watch while we do?
It's.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I just was thinking it was maybe a little bit late. But
It's one of those. I think we might
Swim.
be able to get by with a dip. I don't think I'll need to fully submerge you, but it would be good to have some supervision in case anything goes awry.
right, I can't lift either of you.
No.
But
Maybe you, but definitely
It's
not you.
more others.
other people
Oh,
that
right.
might be around that might
I mean,
go, oh
that if
no,
you're like drowning or
what's
whatever.
happening? Those people
If
are
I
in
drown,
trouble.
I drown.
Sad.
Others immediately thought you're expecting to bring people back.
No. However, there is the issue of Mara.
I can come.
You would like to come along?
Should we wait until the others get
No.
back? Why?
Do you
I
have
don't want
the?
to explain it to them.
Yes, I suppose there's that. Do you have the only key to the property?
Probably. I can hide it somewhere and leave Rowan know that only she could be able to understand.
Well, she speaks Gnomish. I could. Oh, this town is full of gnomes.
Yep.
It's
I
a
can-
bit to get used to that,
what about
really.
not
I can-
dwarvish? There's a lot of dwarves here too.
I can write a note that only she'll be able to read.
Okay. Right.
Well, that I just seems. All right.
We'll go without you, but
No, well,
It would be nice.
actually, Mara could probably lift you out. To be honest, so
I
maybe.
she has a friend.
She does have a friend.
Yeah.
It would give me some comfort too.
Yeah. No, I can. Do you have the hourglass still?
I do. Yes, it's in my satchel.
Right. All right. I was hoping not to have to witness all of this again, but all right.
It might not need to be so dramatic this time. I think
No rocks.
we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
3 small ones.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's like a good area in the lake that's
I
like,
suppose we'll find out, won't we?
The watery bit.
no, Mason?
Somewhere that's shallow would be nice.
That's
imagine,
what I meant, fucker.
I imagine it might not be a deep runoff.
I meant more relatively
Mason? He seems a bit
secluded,
shallow.
not like, hey, this is a public beach where everyone strolls by.
It's the middle of night. I don't feel like people are going to be there.
Yes.
That's right. That's
It
when
is dark.
people only dump the bodies in the burrow, so
Oh, so I can just say that I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't think that would work
You
as
find
well.
out there's a night carnival.
Oh boy. Right.
Yes.
Alright.
All right,
For
Mara.
now?
Yeah.
What have you done with dinner?
Yeah, alright. I will put my veil on and stuff, and I guess I'll disguise myself again.
I will put my mask on and cardigan up, jacket on.
I'm going to quickly write a note. I'm going to go downstairs, unlock the front door, and then I'm going to go around the back, and I'm going to put the
fish sings of the summer wine.
I'm going to put the key in the cart,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to put the note on the front of the door.
Cool.
The note will be in
Yeah.
gibberish to most people.
Yep. Makes sense.
Tandoori sofa.
Lesbian Tamagotchi.
No idea what you're all talking about.
That's
That's
the
what it says on
point.
the note.
Yeah.
Couple,
I see.
monkey, dishwasher.
Right. Cool. Yeah, so I guess we'll all go
Flailing heirlooms.
Yeah.
Cool. See,
I would go around with, and I'll lock the door first, and then I would.
Can you lock the door?
make an intelligence check.
Sorry.
He doesn't have to be the
I'm
one
going to assist him with this. I'm going to assist him
This
with
is
this check.
more of a. It's like a. He's
I
trying
don't
to
know that you
recall
could.
something,
I'm
not
a
trying to.
logical man, if anything. Oh, that's not bad.
13.
Better than last time.
Yeah, you're able to recall what
disadvantage.
the instructions that Ro gave you, and then reverse them effectively, and say, "Okay, this is how I'm gonna lock it." And you managed to lock it this time.
Sweet.
But, sweet.
And then I put it in the cart.
Sweet. You put in the cart, you start to make your way down towards the lake, and it's late at night. There's barely anyone outside. The streets are more or less empty.
It's a bit of a change from having Burrow.
It is, it's nice. I wonder what life would have been growing up here instead. Different.
Different.
And as you make your way
Really,
to,
really nice.
as you make your way to the lake, you get there, and it's again. So there's steps that go down into the water.
That's
And
how deep it is.
yeah, so the steps go to up to a certain
Yeah.
depth, and then from there it's just lake.
straight vertical drop.
I start to take my boots off, and I just kind of pull my trousers up, just up to my
Do you
knees.
need it have to be like fully in or no?
Sperm whales. Look in here, it's that deep.
I think as long as he's in the water, I think it will.
I'll stand here.
I'm going to.
Mara.
I kind of sit myself down on one of the steps, yeah, and I just pass my whole satchel over towards you.
Yep.
I left almost all my equipment at the house.
Along with your shirt, probably.
I'll walk through town with clothes on. And
I'll need
Take
you
them
to
off when I
try
need
to lie flat in front of me if you can, and I just like kind of sit down, my legs in the water, and to try and position you in such a way that you're kind of floating. I'll have my arms like underneath them slightly.
Like when you're teaching
just the
someone how to
leverage.
swim.
Yeah, teaching someone to swim, kind
yeah,
of.
I think I float. I have very little
Yeah.
body fat on me, but I think I still float.
All right.
Unknown fact, half orcs
You-
are 76% air.
You might you'll be gone a little bit before I can chase you, before I can try to find you. So don't go far. Wait if you can. And if nothing happens, nothing happens. We can try again. Just be calm and try not to be afraid.
When do I turn the thing?
I understand.
I'll let you know. So I'm going to start 10 minutes ritual casting Feign Death on Mason as I have him in the water. My intention after those, so it's 10 minutes and 6 seconds. After that, I'm going to cast it on myself. Well, kind of trying to sit upright, holding him here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to hold on to you? Or am I going to go
So
with
the
you
way,
too?
so the way you,
No.
so the way your position
Don't
is, you
really
go
want to.
like about 2 steps deep. Where
Yeah.
when you sit down, the water's about
Yeah.
that level to you. So when Mason is lying down, effectively he's
He's just
floating up at the top, and it's easy for you to hold him up because you're not having to hold up
Yeah.
his entire weight.
As I'm casting it, I will just say, if I do drift at all, if you could try to steady me.
I'll just grab the back of his jacket, just hold it. I'm holding the hourglass in the other hand.
Yeah.
Just standing there. Yeah.
You alright, Mara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
This is pretty weird.
But I have a demon in my head, so
Mara,
It's relative.
that hourglass there. If you could turn that
Well, I'm holding it.
when I tell you. Oh. Yes. So it's very important. When I tell you the time is right, if you could flip that over, and I will just keep on going until I can kind of start to feel them slipping.
Sweet. Eventually, you start to feel as. So, what happened with you, Mason? You are floating on the surface of the water. You're very acutely aware of Hissel's hands on your back, and it almost feels like you're starting to slowly get drowsy, and your vision starts to slowly tunnel, and you feel almost like your body heat leave as you drift off, and it's blackness.
Oh,
Now.
that sounds fun.
And I push my hand on him, and I submerge him fully underneath the water for a second and slowly bring him back up.
Cool. You feel like you're absolutely just floating in a void. It seems you don't know, you can't tell up from down, you can't tell if you're laying back or you're right ways up. And it's just, it seems absolutely pitch black. You try to sort of move your fingers and stuff, and it's weird because you move your fingers, but you're acutely aware of yourself moving your fingers, but it almost feels like it's disconnected from you, in the sense that it's like you can almost feel the thought from your brain going to your fingers, and then your fingers are reacting. It's really uneasy, unsettling. There's sort of a delay.
lagging.
And yeah, so that's what you're feeling, and you're in this empty void. And you stay there for a while, and for once your mind isn't racing a million miles an hour. It's calm. It almost feels natural. And you stay there, float for a while. Meanwhile, you're casting your spell, and as you finish, you come back into that same sort of underwater sort of vision of standing behind or right under the surface of the water looking out. Right above the surface of the water you can see a silhouette. And looking at the silhouette you can fairly easily make out that looks like Mason.
I try to will myself towards him.
You move and you get to the surface, but you can't break the surface.
He's on the other side.
The silhouette is on the other side, and it looks like a silhouette of Mason from where you are, and you see it just sort of floating there. Occasionally you'll see sort of fingers move. Yeah, but when you try to will yourself You can't seem to break the surface.
Yeah.
Mason, eventually you start to sort of just pivot and turn, and as complete pitch blackness surrounds you, for a second it almost feels like you see something move, but it's only for a second, and it's gone again. You start to sort of focus on that one area of this void which seemed to move, and you sort of start to will yourself to look and see and think. Anything in particular you're doing?
I just think Eleanor.
And as you do, you feel a hand grasp yours. You look over, and again, it's pitch black, but you feel a hand grasp yours.
Are you there?
I am.
Where is here?
Somewhere you're not meant to be yet.
Can I still feel her hand?
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to reach to see if I can feel an arm? Can I?
Yep, you can.
I just want to try and pull it in for an embrace.
And you feel that familiar embrace.
Mason will just be there in the embrace and just sobbing.
For what feels like forever, you're in that embrace. And on the other side, you're seeing through this veil what looks to be two silhouettes. One of them also slender, female form.
I'm taking a moment to smile, but I'm just keeping my eyes out to see if I see that large dark shape, anything that could be harmful to him.
You keep your eye out on these sort of things, and eventually that hourglass finishes. It drops, and you feel you start to feel not a pulling away, but like as if you're being forced away. And you hear, "I'll be waiting when it's your time. There's not a moment sooner." It's not your time. Not yet. And you feel your eyes open, and you are floating in the water, suddenly aware of Hessel's hands on your
Just absolute tears already streaking down my face.
and you see this silhouette of Mason sort of drift back through that whale, and as if it's something falling into the water before he disappears. And that's when the spell ends. Oh, it ends on you as well, and you come out of your
Just I reach back and just feel they're still there as well.
I was like, Pippin. Okay. Guys, you're alive?
Yes. I just kind of grip Mason on the chest and just try and pull him to the stairs a little bit more.
Mason will move, but just...
I wish I could offer you more than just that. But you know now, she isn't
That's...
gone.
means... the world. I could hear her and touch her. Could almost smell her too.
I didn't know whether or not that would be possible. But I'm happy that it was. I couldn't follow you there.
You couldn't?
No, I
I thought
was...
you were in control down there.
Perhaps not. I think I'm on my own side.
What does that make me?
I don't know. Perhaps it's your connection with her.
Maybe.
Turns out some things are very powerful.
Shall we head back? The others might be getting worried.
Yes, yeah, I think that would be wise.
I just reach, like, go underneath, but, like, it looks kind of weird because I'm in.
Multiple layers of
Yeah.
Oh,
veils.
you're in.
I'm also
you're a
disguised, so it just
but
looks
just
like you
kinda
can just
reaching.
kind of see me going like this through my own body,
Yeah.
and I hand you a handkerchief.
Thank you. So I'm just like dripping wet.
Oh, prestidigitation! It was more for the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, yeah.
Cool.
I'm glad that worked.
How long does your illusion last?
An hour, so I would have recast it.
Cool. As you guys start to make your way back to the house, the two of you arrive at the house, and you see the note. You understand perfectly what it means, and you're kind of surprised that, okay, I didn't know you could do that.
At the same time, I'm like, there's a lot of people in this town that can do that. I don't know that it was.
a lot of gnomes, a lot of people that can do that.
But yeah, it's a letter. It's written in Thieves' Cant, which you can, and you make your way, grab the,
I don't speak of this.
and you unlock the house and go inside.
I'll leave it unlocked while we're in there. And I'll just, I'll leave one of the Ophelia posters and the other, random posters I collected, and then just, one by one into the fire of the other ones.
Cool. Sweet. You go ahead and do that, and
Can I ask you as well before they come back?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the Oathkeepers?
Kind of. Not of their name, but I've seen people like them before. People that match that description. It was the first night that I met Hessel and Mason. I think that's something you should ask Mason about. He seems to know them a bit better than...
Aye, well,
We don't-
hopefully they'll be back soon.
as you say that, the door opens and Mason, Ophelia, Hessel, and Mara walk in.
I'll yell down, lock the door behind you.
We do that.
Click.
You lock the door
And I'm
behind
sure I'm still one
Wait,
by one.
Yep.
did you put the thing on the table downstairs or upstairs?
Upstairs.
Okay. Okay, we'll come up. Well, I'll come upstairs.
Good job with the timing back there, Lara. That was really well done.
There's dinner, if you haven't seen.
Your bounties got higher.
I see the thing on the table and I'll just go over to it slowly and pick it up.
Have we actually in character seen the first bounty post? I don't think we did,
This is
we?
the first time,
Yeah,
yeah.
the first time you
I was
seen
the only
it.
one that had seen
Yeah,
it.
I sent it to the group earlier.
Yes.
But,
Kind of looks like you.
It's very astute.
Kind of. There's differences in appearance.
I'll just, explain it.
Alice
I guess
is a veil.
it is. Yeah, just no veil, obviously. You
Really?
guys saw, well, except for you saw the clothes that she was wearing underneath the robes, which is like a grey, quite drab sort of tunic pants sort of thing, and long hair, and
Tunic
no
pantsuit.
scar, and
How long ago was this
what do you mean?
that they made this, you think?
Well, you would have seen it, right?
It was before I left.
When did you
Oh.
leave?
A month ago.
Well, how long has it been since I left Hollow Home, or we left?
Would have
Hollow
been
Home?
just
Been
before.
just
It
over
was like
we
month
met
and
you.
a
month
half.
and a half-ish, yeah.
So probably about then. Probably when they got there.
Do you mind if I see that?
Mm-hmm. Just slide it over the table.
Hair looks better now.
It's in the river.
As I've still got like a few left, I'm like, would you want like one for yourself?
No, I'm fine. Quite
I liked it before.
Thanks.
You're
Right.
so charming. I'll toss the rest in.
I'll just
Do you know anything about the Oathkeepers?
fold it up and put it.
That was the name of the new trading company
I'm going to write down one
that's
bounty.
been coming into.
Right, was that
Barrow.
what the crook was talking about?
That's what Issa told us.
Trading
It was also what the crick was telling us about. But when I asked Issa about it,
Is that
Same
ship
people.
you're looking at?
yes.
the boat, yes.
Yeah,
The boat that
Why?
they're on the wrong side of the guild as well.
They have a uniform, green cloak, symbol
And the
with
brooch.
an arrow.
One light.
Is
One
an
light
arrow
bulb.
in-
broken
what's that?
arrow.
Broken arrow.
Broken
in-
arrow
a
through
wreath?
No, so it's just
branch.
it's a circular brooch, which has a olive branch
Breaking
and
an arrow.
an olive branch breaking an arrow.
he did also just take
One
it.
like this, and I present her.
Yep.
Brooch.
That is the exact same brooch.
That'd be it.
Are you one of them? Oh.
Or are they...
Remember our first night in
You don't
Alright.
like them.
The people that we had trouble with before.
Right.
Were
The
they
people we were
Those people?
trying to
were they
protect you
others?
from.
No, sorry.
Which ones?
The ones that Dorso disposed of.
No, I don't
Those are
think so.
disbanded.
Do they have anything to do with why your house is like it is?
In a roundabout way, yes. I did my house.
You. Okay.
But they had something to do with it.
It's a
Right.
good thing you didn't end up charging onto that boat then. If they were the same people.
One thing we know is they don't have anything to do with the Valiers.
I would have rather charged onto that boat.
Well, maybe let's not be too hasty.
The guild is willing to buy information.
This is the part you might
We
like.
have some information. They're smuggling goods into.
They know that already.
Right. Cool.
They seem to be working with the Valiers.
The guild wants one of them captured.
Well, one of them sleeps in a bed of water.
Ooh, I don't know if.
So what?
One of them sleeps in a bed of water.
Like, is dead?
No,
No, he
not
told
like
us
not
that
like a
on the
washing,
boat.
not
Yeah.
a metaphorical
Like
washing
a mattress
grave. No,
made out of water?
In
no,
a box?
Like some
I
kind
think
of
like a
water bed?
box. No, like a box,
pool.
like a pool of water.
Why?
They
You're
seem to be
surrounded by
alive.
water.
Fish
Why would
tank.
you have it in the boat?
If not
Fresh
now.
versus salt water.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
If not now, if we get the opportunity.
And your guild. I'm just sort of like playing with the folded up poster. What do they think? Because I'm guessing they know about me.
We got the poster.
I'm gonna go for.
I don't know anything other than that's. They have your wanted poster.
At least
If I'd asked about you, that would have drawn attention to you.
Yes.
At least while we're here, I think you're alright. Rose seems to have you covered for that one.
As while they're having this conversation, I just turn around and leave, and with the brooch or the symbol still in my hand, I just punch the wall on the door frame as hard as I can, and then I'm just downstairs.
You hear a loud whack against the wood, and also very slight crunch. Not sure if that was the house
and then we hear
or
like the door slam.
What that's
Or
what I was going to
knuckles.
say is that I'm listening to see if I hear the door open at the front.
do you open the door?
And I'm not leaving the house. I just need time.
That was the front door you punched.
I'll start trying to cast mending on the.
You
While
go
you're
downstairs.
here, keep your face hidden,
That's the plan.
but they don't know that you're with me.
But why do people want money to find you?
The people that chased us out of.
Right, you weren't there for that conversation.
Bad people want her for bad reasons.
The people in the white robes. I don't know if you saw them.
The people that we were running from
The Maximilian Reserve.
would like to study her, but not in a way that keeps her alive.
No, they definitely want to keep me alive. But in a bad way.
I just look up.
To like Dakar.
Yeah, he just seems to be absorbing information. He's basically already told to keep an eye out, that sort of thing.
It's so creepy when you do that.
And I'm floating in midair.
Yeah, Dakar is just looming over, seemingly quite interested in this conversation.
If there's ever anyone to protect Ophelia from more than anyone else, it'd be them.
Yes, I would prefer not. Oh, yes,
It makes 3 of us.
Ah,
I could imagine they would be interested. It seems everyone has. Well, most of us have someone or something chasing after us. If it's not these green cloaks, it's the ones in white. Or Valier.
I'm also gonna run through what the guild found as well, like the schematics and.
Oh, she didn't give them.
No, but just
Talk
run
about
through.
them.
Oh yeah,
About, like,
talk. Yeah. Cool.
so your father.
Actually, I'm gonna go out the front door.
Okay.
We hear it.
You hear the door open and then shut again.
While I was downstairs, I was writing a note again.
Okay. Maybe you.
Leave it by the front door.
I should.
I'll message you.
Yep.
I should.
Check on this.
Yeah, I'll check on you.
I'm gonna sit on one of the couches. And just
Artemis. I just tuck my jacket and I cast mage armor on myself.
Mhm.
And head on downstairs. And I just, as I'm going down, I just take my dagger out from my jacket.
Cool.
I'm gonna have dinner.
Yeah, me too. Just
Okay.
Just know I risked a lot protecting you tonight. I don't need thanks or anything. Just stay hidden. For both our sakes.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Cool. Alright. So as you go down to check the door, there's a note that you see. It's gibberish. That's a string of words that mean fuck.
I quickly run it upstairs, and I just say, "Can you make sense of that?"
It reads, it reads, "I'm off for a chat with your friends."
I guess you don't.
He knows where to go.
What's that, sorry?
He knows where to go.
Go where? What do you mean?
Right.
He's going to talk to the guild.
Is he gonna kill them?
Could you
don't
tell?
think so.
Did he mean like talk or talk?
Like-
I think he means talk verbally.
Oh, verbally. Okay.
I think he's
All right.
probably trying to go learn more about the Oathkeepers.
Cool.
Keepers.
I think
I keep thinking Oathbreakers.
he knows where to go. He knows how to come back. You definitely can't go anywhere near
Oh,
there.
I'm staying in here for now, I think.
I'm exhausted as well.
And I'm going to stay away from the windows, which I have been doing anyway, but I'm going to do that even more so.
Yep.
Is there a spot in the house that doesn't really have visibility?
It's like that
from
episode
I mean, this
of
happens.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine where you just army crawling on the ground everywhere and you can stand in this one square in the house.
Yeah,
army crawling
exactly.
again.
Take my room. Close the
can share.
curtains.
Great. Now I'm just picturing the human disguise as creepy library sex offender look from the same episode.
Oh no. Yeah.
Of
The pencil moustaches and the pencil.
of Andy Samberg or
Yeah.
the other one?
Yeah, Andy Samberg's creepy.
Cool.
I was intending to sleep in my father's room.
Could you possibly the system that you set up last night? Could you do that on the lower floor?
You actually know of one of your father's mechanisms has a built-in alarm spell.
Oh, cool.
I can. For now, probably best to wait for Mason
To return?
to return.
Right. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm tired.
I can stay
What
up.
time of night is
day.
it now?
It's quite
I'm
late.
going
It's
to go
close to midnight.
Mara,
at
you
this
should go
stage.
to bed as well.
I will go into your room,
Mara's
close the
already
curtains, and just
And you
sort of
two
sit
should
on the
definitely-
bed for a while.
Get some rest.
Who even needs a long rest?
God, you're gonna have
I
two
might just get one of,
levels
Yeah.
one
of
of
exhaustion.
Rose's
still look
pillows
close
and
as
just
fast
kind of
as
put
you.
my face in it and just kind of yell into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just kind of and then
Yeah.
go to bed.
Cool.
So, Callian, how is everything with you?
Better than most of the others, I think, right now.
Yes, it's been quite a day. Yes.
Did want to ask, you mentioned the other day about being able to contact people like you did with.
Right. Yes. Yes. That's something you can do.
If you're not too.
Unfortunately, I've expended most of
that's-
my.
It's fine. Or
Yes. In the morning.
Another
First thing.
Also, I'm sure we told everyone 3 days.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
We can-
Kellyan's
we can
dad,
try another
basement
night.
boy.
BB. Hey,
Boy,
BB.
it's BB. Yeah, so it's just BB for short. Yeah. Find me in the morning then. I might turn in.
No, that's.
I'm going to. Just hold on there. Come find me if there's anyone. I'm just gonna take Manibus and just place him up on the doorframe of the stairs. And then I'll
Cool.
just go and try and find a sofa, a couch, a nook in the window, something.
You find a spot to
You
crash.
find a basement.
Okay.
So while you guys are all bedding down for the night, you are power walking your way to to where you were told the orphanage was.
Yep.
You get there and the door is closed and the light seemed to be off.
Is the door locked?
When you try the handle, yes, it is locked.
Children are sleeping.
I'm just gonna kick the door in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, make a strength check.
I think the secret knock was knock,
If you
knock,
don't
knock.
make this strength check.
Oh no, boy. Oh no.
One of those
Your
was
knees! You keep on
Was that
fucking
that
up your
one?
knees!
No. It
What'd you roll?
2
Okay.
plus 2.
You
You
kick-
an attack instead.
Because that was just a really big knock.
No, you're just trying to, yeah. So you kick it and there's a boom against the door.
In your knees.
And you feel that sort of
I feel
feedback
shit,
through
I kick it again.
your knee. And you try
I'm gonna
yet
keep kicking it
again.
until the door fucking comes down.
And you keep kicking it and it's just like a boom, boom, boom. And
get
It's
shot.
only then you notice there's a knocker on the door.
Yeah.
You can see you.
There's a doorman who's just been standing there the whole time, just been like,
You okay, buddy?
"What?
does a 12 hit?
No. Was it ranged?
Yeah, you hear
catch it.
you hear it. Doesn't it? Does it have? It has a hit for you to be able to deflect it, right?
Yeah, it has to.
Does it?
It has to hit.
It has to hit for the deflect missiles.
Okay.
I'll allow you to catch
like
it
smack it
with an acrobatics check.
I mean, it's not gonna hit me, so.
Yeah, it's not going to hit you, but roll an acrobatics
maybe it will
check
if you
to
try
try
to
and
just-
catch the arrow.
Net one."
Motherfucker.
Won't allow you the throwback thing with deflect
No,
missiles,
I just wanna
but
catch
yeah,
it.
Full idea of trying to
Yeah.
catch it and it just goes.
you hear a thump, and you hear that, and you hear it starting to whistle past, and you just before you kick, you hold your hand up and you feel it whiz past, and you grab it. You've caught the arrow, and you look back and on the roof above, on the roof above the building across the street, you can see someone with a heavy crossbow in hand, that's pointing it down towards you. And as you look up there, you also see two other figures show up next to them. These guys are holding longbows that are drawn and pointed right at you. And you hear from behind you, and you hear a lock open the door. As you turn around, there's the man that you met earlier in the.
Yeah.
He says, "I would appreciate if you didn't break my door down."
Don't lock it.
Don't worry, I didn't harm your door.
He steps to the side and he looks up at the others upstairs, and they sort of.
As I walk past him out of the doorstep, I drop the arrow on the ground in front of him.
You drop the arrow. He looks at it, chuckles, closes the door.
I need a conversation with who knows information.
About.
The Oathkeepers.
Interesting. Follow me. And as he leads you down the corridor, we'll take our second break. And so, Mason, you are led down into
A trap.
the chamber where this man that's leading you in there, he takes you into one of the chambers, which looks to be more of like a meeting room kind of thing, a round table in the middle with chairs around it. Nothing else in the room. He walks up to one of the walls, and you watch him flick on a lamp, which then lights the room in a dull orange glow, and he sits down in front of you and leans back in his chair, and he says, "What is this information you're so eager to divulge?"
No, I didn't say I had information. I said I wanted to talk to whoever knew all the information about the Oathkeepers.
Fuck.
That would be me.
I want to know everything you know about the Oathkeepers.
Why?
Because they have personally wronged me.
Brilliant. They have personally wronged us too.
You're going after them, and I'm going after them.
But who's
Yes,
having the
but
fight?
information is, as you can understand, information is valuable. What do we get in return?
Whatever I know about them.
And what is it that you know about them?
Information is valuable.
Touche.
Uno reverse card.
He's gonna go with that draw 4 soon.
Just waiting for that. Now, finally finished giving everything there. Now, what do you know? Nothing.
Take a seat.
I sit opposite him.
What we know about them is that they surfaced about 6 months ago. They seem to be bringing whatever contraband they're bringing into the Babbling Burrow. They seem to have access to artifacts and other items that we haven't been able to get our hands on. We don't know where they get it, and we would like to know. It's bad for business when clients think that we don't have things.
Do you
that
have
they
things coming in from Mayreen?
We do, but it's been difficult because that is where they come from.
Well, all of their trade comes from Mayreen. I assume
As far as I'm aware.
I assume they do what you do here, over there. So that will be where they'll be getting their artifacts from.
Yes, but our clients, when they request something from us and we are not able to provide, and they are, it leaves... It creates a bad impression. We're looking for as much more information as we can get. They seem to be, as you said, they seem to do what we do here, which means they're good at what they do.
I know that they are working with the Valiers. The Valiers are aware of the illegal contraband they bring in.
The Valiers are a business.
I know.
They will work with whoever pays. So it seems like
A powerful business relationship, a strong business relationship between someone from a foreign land who does what you do with the Valiers gives him a force to stand against the guild.
gives Valier the force to stand
The
against them.
ability to.
We have our own relations with the Valier Trading Company, and it is a long-standing one.
How have they been recently?
Things haven't changed too much. As I said, we are still providing them with whatever we have arranged to provide them with, but it's our other customers that we are a little bit more worried about. It's a threat. We see it as a threat. We see them as a threat, and that's about all the information I have. Or at least that I'm willing to divulge just yet. Your turn.
I've pretty much given you everything I have, just like you've given me everything you have to give to me.
Right.
I want to know where I can find them.
As far as we're aware, in the Babbling Burrow. They haven't come further inland from there as far as we're aware. They seem to have some form of a base of operations in the burrow. But
Do you know which side of town?
it's on the Baranton side of town,
Southern side.
Yeah.
Right. Is that all you can share? It's all the information you can give me about them?
That is all the information I can give you about them.
How do I get more?
Go look for it. If you can bring us back something that we don't know, we are willing to pay.
Alright. Why are they coming here now?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Has there been anything happening within the guild that might give you the inkling that now is their time to move in?
Not within the guild itself. There are, as far as I'm aware, tensions between Havenhall and Voxmore. So it could be something that's been authorized through Voxmore. The Reserve and the Brownton Court are fairly well tied together, and as far as I'm aware, the Reserve has presence in Marine.
Right.
That's the connect as far as I can connect the dots.
A little bit of information you may not know. One of the captains of their ship was seen to be sleeping in a fish tank. Sleeping in a bed of water.
Do you know the name of the ship?
Was it the unicorn?
Yes, Unicorn's Horn. It was in Babbling Burrow days ago.
Duly noted. I was aware of the Unicorn's Horn, but not that their captain slept in a fish tank.
It's like, it's way too late for this.
Well,
Is this a dream?
that information as insignificant as it is, no offense to you, I will pass that along, and if that turns into a lead that can be pursued, I will.
Don't imagine there are many people that sleep in fish tanks. Might jog someone's memory of an individual.
I'll keep an eye out. As I said, if it turns into a lead that we can follow and it gets results, I'm happy to share that information with you. From what I understand, you are working with one of ours, so that means any information we share with you, I can share in confidence, and if anyone else finds out, I will know and I will come and slit your throat.
Brilliant. I'd like to see you try.
Gotta catch me first.
Please try. Please try.
He just smiles.
I'll stand up from
He
the
says
table and I'll walk
sunburned and
around.
half asleep.
I'll walk around behind them and out the door.
And yeah,
Slightly dead.
he follows you out after, and
Might wake up dead tomorrow.
Cool.
he lets you
Yeah.
leave. He closes the door. Yeah.
I look at
Then
the
he lets
roofs.
you leave.
Look at the roofs where people were. Can I see them up there?
On the roofs. When you look up there, there's no one there.
I'm just going to presume they're hiding and watching. I'm just going to pull a finger out the side as I walk down the road.
It's 30 degrees.
Making friends everywhere he goes.
Cool. So you head back to
Yeah, the house.
head back to the house, and
Is the front door still unlocked?
Yeah.
Cool.
come in.
I go inside
the door.
and I lock the door behind me.
Cool.
Once I hear him come in, I'll trigger the mechanisms to
set up the alarm.
ward it.
Yeah, that's cool. As you come into the house, bed down for the night, sleep takes you. The next morning, the day is yours. You've got 3 days before
I'm stuck
the.
in this house.
So, on day one, what is it that you guys are doing?
Good morning, Callian.
Morning.
About what you talked about yesterday.
Yes.
I'm feeling ready. If you are.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
All right. Take a seat if you wouldn't mind, and
Sure.
if you could tell me the name of the person you wish to contact and what you would want to say. The short is good.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
Be high.
19.
Be higher.
Hey!
Hey.
Oh, 19, okay?
This isn't new gin. 19's good.
Yeah.
I've only got
Be
I've
higher.
only got a +1 to wisdom, okay?
Be worse. It's like 19, so that's 7.
Do I feel any tinglings in my brain?
Nope.
Okay.
So his name is Oren.
Oren.
Valendia.
Valentia. Right.
Orange Love didn't say banana.
Oren's your father, correct?
Adopted, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
With the
Adopted
adoption
squad!
Yeah. I can pull out just some spare seeds and stuff, and then they'll just sort of just watch as like little vines grow, and then you just see this image come out of the center of it of elven man with sort of late middle-aged. So you're just a basic bust hologram of.
You just carry seeds in your pockets.
Yes.
Apparently hallucinogenic seeds.
Yeah. That will help. Thank you.
That's.
Oren
I don't really know. Zach,
You
I
are
just want to
trying.
know if he's all right.
You're trying to find him.
Yeah.
correct?
Where he is, if he's.
Right. Are you safe? Where are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's.
I can.
Gotta say, when I gave you this spell, I didn't expect you to just be like a postal service or whatever.
You offered it around.
Welcome to the Hasselmark.
Gold coin.
Toss a coin to your Hassel.
To your postman.
All right.
Shh, it's copyright.
Okay. I just kind of place my hand on your shoulder. Oren. Right? Oren.
Yeah.
Oren.
Yeah.
Oren Valendir. Oren Valendir. I cast Sending.
Mm-hmm.
And I focus on the Seed Man.
Seed man.
Who's gonna see?
There's no need to feel down.
Seed man.
Oren, I speak on behalf of your son. Are you safe? Where are you? He is concerned. My name is Hessel.
You feel the message received, and you get a scatterbrain, wood carving, whistle, fog, and that's it.
Scatterbrain, wood carving, whistle. Fuck.
Fog.
Oh, fog. Sorry. Yeah, Hessel does say fuck. No, wait, fog. Scatterbrain.
What?
Wood carving. Whistle. He sounded confused. Fog. He sounded confused. Scatterbrain. Wood carving. Whistle. Fog. Is that a code? Is that like...
Not one of
Your dad sounds interesting.
that before.
He sounded surprised, like perhaps I woke him up.
What time of day is it?
Perhaps late in the day.
About 8.
I'm in mood.
Perhaps you should write it in your book.
Yes.
I will once I get my book updated, so I'm not just scrolling in random pages.
Scatterbrain, wood carving, whistle, fog.
What?
Alright.
I'm gonna get up.
No sense.
SPWCWF. It's not a code. Or if it is, it's Elvish.
Pretty sure it's not Elvish.
I'm just gonna go down to the market and just like stock up on fancy shit like wine and cheese and like we have to stay inside pretty much for 3 days, so we might as well make the most
You
of
stock
it.
up.
You don't have to.
I am.
It's been 8 gold.
Oh. I am sitting in Rose's room.
Just as a note, things that you know that exist in Oxen. Obviously there's bars and winery and that sort of thing. There's also multiple tinkers shops, which tend to either make items on a commission type of basis, or if they've already got some, they tend to have some interesting knickknacks to sell every now and again. So that's something that exists here. The general goods stores, and all of that in the market district itself.
Yeah, it's just food for now. I'll come back with like a fuck ton of fresh food.
Yeah. And you come back with a fuck ton of fresh food.
Do I, from before he left, remember anything specific in terms of wood carvings or whistles or...
As
Fog.
Yeah. He wasn't a woodcarver.
No.
I mean, he used to use whistles as hunting calls and stuff like that but yeah.
Well, that just raises more questions than I had before.
At least you know he's alive.
I
Yeah.
have regrets.
That seems to be the general consensus with this spell.
Ro, when you come
He's
back
alive,
with all the
that's a good
groceries...
thing.
sorry, yeah.
No.
Yes, that is, yes. He sounded very confused. I said what I said out loud, what you heard. So I must imagine it is rather strange having someone speak into your mind. You might think that you're hearing voices, but perhaps if I try again tomorrow with, hello, it's Hessel again. I'm not a voice, I'm a person.
Scatterbrain wood carvings. Whistle fog.
Brain, wood carving, whistle, fog. What does that mean? Your son's concerned.
Yeah.
Your son is more concerned.
Extra concerned.
Well, if we're planning on staying inside today, there's no reason that I can't. I should ask around to make sure that no one else wants to use.
Maybe wait till
Yes.
end of the day if you do it at least.
Yes.
That's...
Right. I've got some reading.
Thank
to
you.
do. I take up a spot by the window, and when Ro comes back with her groceries and stuff, you can see that Hessel's kind of trying to, with one book on the outside, that seems like normal, but you can quite clearly see that he's reading an instructional book.
Okay.
Just flicking through.
I am just sitting, have not, left the room today yet, and I am just sitting and I am holding the stone that Issa gave me, and I'm just kind of, turning it over my hands and just thinking
Cool.
for a while.
If I catch Hissel's eye, I'm just gonna be like, just say nothing. Just
Cool.
You see Blue Man turn red.
Purple man.
Yeah, it's Purple Man.
Purple basement boy.
Very bruised.
Purple basement boy.
Yeah.
Blueberry boy.
Okay.
Very basement boy.
Yeah.
Is anyone else doing anything today?
I mean, eventually I will
yes.
come out and like eat, and then probably retreat back into the room. Is there any? What's in your room?
Bed, some drawings, a table covered in more tools and like.
I'm just kind of like,
Backstreet Boys poster.
yeah. It's like, but it's like, like tinkerer's tools, like just like a spread of them.
That's
it's
that's in the
like-
workshop.
Tinkerer's Tools Monthly.
No, you know
calendar.
the like sexy fireman calendars?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that, but like Tinkerer. Tinkerer Daily.
Sexy Tinkerer.
It's just like a sexy dwarf.
His beard so long
With a
that it's
big
just.
reach.
It's called the Tinkers.
Yeah.
Boy.
At some point throughout the day, after reading and stuff like that, I would like to try and see if I could catch Ro for a conversation while we're in.
I'm just gonna be sitting around like the hearth mostly and just like making food.
Shall I take the horses and cart to the Valier Trading Company outpost here? I don't mind doing
Or
that.
maybe
I'll come with you for that.
Sure.
Yeah, probably best to
Aaron,
be rid of them.
You guys start to take the horses down to the building that you were told belongs to the trading company.
Is
And
it on this side of the river, or do we have to cross the river?
no, it's around that
It's a lake.
lake.
Everything's the side
Yeah.
of the river.
Yeah.
So
But you said they're on the...
yeah, no. So there's two sides. Obviously, there's two sides of the river. So you can go. It's on the southern side. It's on the southern side of the river, and it's just one. So on the northern side of the river, there's about 3 different buildings with those water wheels.
Yeah.
On this side of the river, there's only one, and it's a much larger building.
Yeah.
With a much larger
Just
water
trying to
wheel.
determine whether we have to go all the way down the lake or not.
Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, so you get to the trading company building, and it's got the Valier crest on the.
Valier ring back on.
Yep. As you approach, there's guards, so it is fenced off.
Yeah.
There are guards there who.
Hello, we're employees of the Valier Trading Company. We need to bring these,
They see your ring and say, "Right. What is your business today?"
we need to travel, on the steamboats, and we cannot bring the horse and carriage.
Of course.
We are on a job for Issa from Babylon Borough, and you gave us this transport, but we cannot take it any further. Are you able to give us a token saying, or so that we can get transport in the next town?
Your signet ring should suffice as token. You can leave them with us. We will.
Awesome, thank you.
So
We would have taken all our shit out of them beforehand.
Yes.
We're intelligent.
So you drop,
enough.
you drop it off at the train company, and
Maybe.
passing, coming close enough to this building itself. It's a 3 to 4 story building, with that large water wheel out front, which is being turned by the current of the river, and
Not by a man with an electric mouse attached to it.
nah. But it
Guy in a hamster wheel.
too outdated.
2 guys in a hamster wheel.
Yeah, 2 guys hamster wheel. This Valier guy just like.
Seems about right.
But yeah, in the windows, there is a sort of a bluish light coming from the inside. That's against the window. It flickers every now and again, but there's a bluish light on the inside. That's what you kind of noticed.
What's the blue light coming in from inside?
Straightforward.
To the point.
Part of our work, I'm not allowed to divulge.
Alright.
Cool.
I'm not gonna press.
I'm gonna just do the Hessel slide away.
Glance around. Is there anything outside, maybe scrap metal piles?
There's outside on one side there's what looks to be an area where waste is disposed and stuff like that. You see ground up stone.
A dumpster.
Yeah, you see ground up stone. You see pieces of like broken wood and that sort of thing. And yeah, there's some scraps of metal here and there. But it just looks like industrial waste, for lack of a better term. Like almost either byproducts of some sort of a process or
The scrap metal. Not that I'm know a whole bunch about things with metal, but is it just like bits and pieces? It's like not like chunks of corrugated iron, more like bits and pieces of just
it's
scrap
scrap metal.
Yeah.
So you don't know what it's from.
Yeah.
You know, it's difficult to tell where the distance that you're standing, but it's scrap metal basically. Yeah. After that, you head back to the house. The first half of your day going by without too much.
Go looking around town before I go back.
Yep.
I'll go for a swim in the lake at some point.
Cool. And you notice during the day where those steps are, you see a lot of people going into their
Drown there.
going down steps.
It's a good place to
either
die, that one.
bathing or washing clothes and that sort of thing in that part of the lake itself. And that seems to be what this is sort of like a place for people to get clean and place to wash it and wash your clothes, wash some dishes, whatever.
Wash your soul.
Yeah. Well, wash your soul too, yeah. That too. But yeah. If you're looking around for roll an investigation check, are you just going back or going for a wander?
Eventually I'm going for a swim at some point. I
Yep.
don't know if it's now, but at some point during the day we'll go for a swim.
5.
You don't. Yeah, everything just looks really.
Everyone's looking at you like, and you're like,
Yeah, there's you're just sort of thinking about those 4 words going through your head, and then it's everything looks just different and cool, and
Mine's a bit foggy.
yeah,
Yep.
and things that you haven't seen too often. It's just okay, interesting stuff. It would distract you very easily, but you go for a bit of a wander. You go for your swim. Is there anything in particular, or just going for a swim?
How big is the lake?
It's pretty big. I'd say it's about the size of Pandia Basin.
Also, not like Topo.
Was that?
Not like Topo.
No, not that big. I'd say about
Huge,
Pandia.
then. Alright.
Yeah, it's not massive. It's
Today I just want to swim the circumference of it.
cool. Yep. So you take time. You swim the circumference of it.
It's getting the gains.
When you say you swim the circumference of it, do you cross over the river as well?
Yep.
Cool. As you're crossing, there's that you can feel the current coming through, but a current of the river coming into this lake, and there's you didn't notice this the last time you were here because you were preoccupied, but as you're sort of swimming through, it almost feels like there's an ever-present sort of a current going towards the center of the lake.
I'm going to follow it.
Cool. You start to follow the current. You just let it sort of. It's not like a very strong current going into the center, but it's present enough to where you can feel it.
Yeah.
Beware the undertow.
And you start to go, and you make your way to the middle of the lake, and you're just swimming. I need you to make an athletics check.
Boy.
No disadvantage, lads.
Yeah.
Oh, we back. Net 20.
Nice. You make it to the center of the lake, and you as you start to get closer and closer to the center of the lake, the current seems to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as you get to the center, you're just sort of like having to consciously keep yourself floating. And as you get to the middle, that current is starting to draw downwards.
that is a whirlpool, huh?
Don't
do
I
it.
was so right.
Nick with the good questions.
Thick.
Don't do it, bitch.
Do I know? I'll die.
Oh, don't do it.
Secret underground treasure hold.
No, I'm gonna.
You know who would be good at something? Someone who can actually breathe underwater, maybe.
Yeah, I can hold my breath for a while.
But
The rest of your life, potentially.
3 days. I'm going to swim out
Cool. You start
back
to
towards the direction of home.
you swim back out, and as you come back and start to, people are looking at you like, this dude just went all around the lake and went to the middle and then swam all the fucking way back.
Luna's like,
And then I get out of the lake and it's fucking cut. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
The little gnomes are
Comes
like,
out with his shirt off.
yeah.
I'm not swimming in fucking full clothes. I'm like spankies that I go fighting. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Any opportunity. Any opportunity.
Yeah. You step out of the lake, gather your stuff, and start to make your way back on. Anybody else? Anyone?
Someone stole his stuff. Come on.
It's a nice
town.
place. It's a nice
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
I was going to talk to Ro about something.
Yeah.
I was.
okay.
Oh, she knows, like, leading on from... No, okay, normal voice. At some point throughout the day, I'm going to put things down and just kind of try and seek you out.
I'm still at the hub.
Yeah.
Were you wanting more books?
No,
Explain
books,
figure 57.
Books are educational. I more had a question about some of the work that your father had done. You seem to be under the suspicion that something happened to one of the children of Valier's.
That is what I was told, yes.
Yes. Is there anything here? Anything that might indicate what that was? Anything that's been worked on? Anything that...
The only thing that the Thieves Guild found, they did me a favor in hunting for anything before the Valiers could find it, was the schematics that I told you about
Right.
earlier.
You would not think that...
But I mean, I haven't looked. We could have a look today if you'd like.
I have nothing but time, so... Yes, a way to stay occupied. It's
probably
strange,
not
I've
a-
spent most of my life in... Well, not as comfortable as this, but being outside's been nice. Yeah, keep the mind occupied. If you don't mind me digging around.
No, I'll come and help.
Right, that sounds fantastic, thank you.
The first place I'll go is the hidden compartment that was described.
Yeah. So you told that it's under the on the floor under the desk. So make an investigation check.
I can't do that, can I? Because I'm definitely searching. I'll
Yeah.
You'll be searching like general, but
Yeah.
this is the specific.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
it wasn't good.
it was not good.
The worst it could possibly be.
Would Hessel be helping?
So, no.
But it's +6.
I am in a different area, searching the rest of the house. Effectively, that's
So
like my
what's the total?
afternoon.
7.
It was an @1.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You start to look around and
So is this
Get
being a
stuck in
childhood
the
home
floor.
habitable?
Nah, he's pretty good at hiding it.
So
but
I
yeah,
don't find
You
it.
don't. You sort of look
Towards
around.
that.
You don't find it. You know it's supposed to be here somewhere. You keep sort
Then
of
I
looking.
would say to Hissel, like, this is the information that I was given.
Another compartment.
Right.
Maybe
would you-
fresh eyes.
Sure. I'd like to have a look
Make
in
an
here
investigation
specifically, but like I am wanting to have an all-around check as well. Great.
It's better.
6 plus 7, so that's yes, 13.
Looking around
better
for it,
than
you find
someone.
you feel like one of the floorboards is a bit like it feels hollow as you're tapping across, and you sort of push down onto it, and it clicks, and it pops up. As you open it, it seems to be a long compartment, and it seems to have, looking into it, seems to have just little knickknacks or trinkets of sorts. There's some documents in here, so deed to the house and that sort of thing. Which one of you's looking into it and sort of rummaging through?
I'd probably.
I mean, like once I'd found it, this is her home. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah.
So
So
I'll watch over her shoulder.
when you start to go through it, it's deed to the house. You find your adoption papers, you find a bag of a hefty coin purse. You find what looks to be two. So you find this one little bauble, which is effectively 2 gears that are effectively they're in that sort of a configuration there, and they're not touching each other. One of them is bigger than the other. The smaller one is inside the first one, and they're both sort of slowly. So if you hold one of them, the other one is almost magnetically sort of floats there, and slowly turns. And you sort of dig around a little bit more. You find a little locket which has a picture of you and Taji's wife. And it's,
Malin, I
yeah,
remember.
yeah. So it's sort of personal effects, important documents, some extra money, this little configuration.
I'll keep out the the documents and the gear thing. Put everything else back for now.
Make a perception check. Actually, this would be more investigation because you're sort of looking around in there to see what's in there.
That's much better. 24.
24? Cool. So, as you start to sort of rummage through and grab all the stuff, you find on the side panel, there seems to be something. It's very hard to like catch, but as your hand sort of runs over it, there's a small, like a little protrusion, which when you press into, you hear a clunk from the backyard in the shed.
What was that?
How loud is that?
It's fairly loud.
Ophelia opens the door and sticks her head out of your bedroom. Is like, everyone okay?
Yeah, nothing for now.
Am I home yet at this point or not?
You're on your way back because you've been doing the whole. It takes
hours.
This might be something.
Just, yes.
I will
And the only reason you sort of
come
hear it is
some
because
reason.
you hear the
Mechanism.
the mechanism, and then you hear stuff sort of falling in the shed.
Is that normal for your home
No.
to make those? Okay. All right.
What do
Out
you-
this way. Stay inside.
Evil villains left.
We'll be back in a moment.
I'll go back in the room.
Put my mask on.
You go around,
Lead the way.
back to the.
I'm just gonna put, like, for now, just put everything back in there. And, like, I guess I've seen him do it, so I know how to
Yeah.
get in there now.
Just kind of tuck my wand up my sleeve.
You make your way out to the back and you open up the shed door, and you see that at the back, a couple of boxes that were there have sort of fallen inwards, and there seems to be some sort of a hatch that's opened up. As you go closer, you see steps leading down into.
This isn't boding well.
Oh, I'm very excited right now. I read many adventure novels, and this is reeking of one.
Oh, your wand's in your sleeve.
I agree, but I
I
just hope I just hope I'm right.
Right about.
His innocence.
He sounds like a good person. I think all of our parents have.
Help me move these boxes.
Passed. Yes, I will do my best.
I mean,
You
same.
take some time.
We'll lift them together.
You
I
lift
said
them together.
help.
You take some time, and you move the boxes out of the way, and you see that.
I mean,
Where the
it's
ha-
a
yeah.
gnome that put them there. It's not like they can be like.
Where the hatch is open, there is a staircase, a stone staircase going down, which seems to have been cut from the ground itself.
I'll close the shed behind us.
You close the shed behind you, and it's as you start to go down, it's pitch black in here, and it's just there's dust, and you get this smell of like, almost like a chemical smell. Do you have dark vision?
Yeah.
You're
I'm
fine.
just
You're
kinda
starting to
like
go down and
Stumbling.
Here.
Yeah.
Just grab his hand.
I'm beginning to
Fall
think
on
that
stairs.
would it be better if we perhaps had everyone just in case?
Not
there's-
yet. Not
Okay.
until I...
Right. Miss. I just kind of tuck my coat and just cast mage armor on
Yeah,
myself.
cast mage armor on yourself. Cool.
Suddenly, adventure novels not so interesting.
Yeah. You start to make your way.
You're so sweaty.
Yeah, you start to make your way down into this, and as you're stepping down, you get to pretty much the second to last step, and as you step onto it,
Oh no!
and you hear click.
Yes. Yes.
Do you keep going?
And the lights come on.
Can I do a roguey check? Might be a little late, but before I step off.
Roll to detect traps and roll investigation.
I
And
can't see, but I definitely heard something.
Yeah, not a good sound. Just stay where you are.
Okay, I'm not going to move.
Ooh, that's not
Ooh.
great. Select
Oh my god, you guys are gonna fucking die.
16.
16. You without
Oh wait, no, that was sleight of hand. 14.
Yeah, without shifting your weight and stuff, you start to sort of look where you are, and there's no light. So it's really difficult to see what this is and what the intricacies of this are. But just from the click and the fact that nothing's happened already, you get the sense that by stepping on this stair, as soon as the pressure plate was triggered, that whatever this was is now armed.
So what's the verdict?
I love it.
Okay, can I help you from where I am at the moment without moving?
We'll go back and drum the light, guys.
I feel like just like waiting inside, like.
Can I... so it's still down?
It's depressed,
Yeah.
and
Give it a
it's
hug.
yeah, it seems to be armed.
Can I
Start singing country roads.
take one of my daggers and jam it in just to try and hold
It doesn't, when it's depressed downwards, there's no seam on the stair bar because these stairs are made of stone, so there's nothing that you can jam it into.
Right.
There's not enough of a gap for you to jam a dagger into there to make it so that it doesn't move.
Would you like some light?
If you can
I might be
do
able to
that.
without moving. Okay, I'm going to try very carefully. I'm going to reach down into my satchel and take out my trusty candle, which is getting smaller. And I'm just going to prestidigitation, just a little spark.
And as the warm sort of the glow encompasses
Step
this
off.
sort of
How bad
tunnel,
could it be?
you can now see all around where you are, and so going pretty much all the way back up the stairs, there seem to be little gaps in the stone, with some sort of metal barrel within all of these.
Oh boy.
So what I'm thinking, are you standing on that thing, or is it me standing on it? I can't tell. It's quite
It's
dark.
me.
Oh, it's you. What if, hypothetically, I was to stand on there and you'd jump off, or not jump, maybe step off, and you could then see if there was
different.
a way to do something, or perhaps find something that weighs similar amount.
I mean, it's better than us just standing here forever.
Eventually, someone would come and find you.
I mean, Hazel can leave.
Right. I will. I'll step on there with you, and then you can step off.
We'll try.
Okay. I'm going to take one step.
What's the worst that could happen?
I'm sure we're fine. I'm going to
What have
take.
you got,
Please
like-
let me know when I get
Is
home.
anyone else? Yeah, is anyone else?
2 HP?
I'm going to take a step onto the pressure plate. Because I'm guessing it does it feel like it's down?
Yeah, as you step onto it, it feels like it's down.
Okay. All right.
I am going to attempt to.
I'm going to put. Yeah. Do you have one foot on it or two? Is it
Both, I think.
You're currently standing on
Okay.
it on the step.
I'll try and get both on it, and then. Okay.
I'll
You
try and
step
step off it.
Cool. As you step off it, nothing happens.
Okay, I'm gonna check for traps as I go now.
Oh, are you going to? You're not going to the.
No, just go in.
Okay.
Further.
Okay.
See if I can find a
Oh,
off switch.
right. I'll stay here with my candle.
Just
Yeah.
stay there a second.
I won't leave.
Oh my god, you guys.
Such a good rogue.
You start to go further down.
Yeah.
The mask on.
So you start
But
to
I'm checking as I go. Like,
Yeah. And you step further to go check for traps. So roll investigation.
this is where we die here, so.
It's a good one.
22.
As you start to go down, you don't detect any further traps or triggers or switches.
Probably
But as you get to the end of the stairwell, there is a short landing, and then there's a door. Right before that landing, you see right above you there is a metal slab, which you get the sense will probably come down if some mechanism is triggered.
Just stay there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, am I living here now?
For now, yes.
Right. Well, I do have. I think I can send at least one more message.
Can I check the door, like,
Yes, I know you're down
check
there,
the door for
yes.
traps as I'm opening it, make sure there's no other
So
door.
Roll investigation to check for traps.
Off the backboard.
18.
18. As you're checking for traps, you see a lock mechanism. It's again as intricate as the front door, maybe even more. But you also find that there is in that mechanism itself, while you're sort of testing it and trying to understand how it works, you notice there is one of the barrels. You get the sense that's like the most easiest way to unlock this, with your experience of this kind of a lock mechanism, would include depressing that barrel, but you get the sense that that's intentional, because if you do, that's a failsafe to trigger something. A very intelligent man, your father, and also.
Damn it, Dad. Do I get the sense that it's a different
You
mechanism than
can't
the
tell.
front door?
It's the locking mechanism is the same. It's the same with that similar sort of a key which sort of protrudes outwards, and then there's a series of movements which hit the right tumblers to open the door. But if you were picking it with a lockpick, you wouldn't know which tumblers to depress, and one of the first tumblers that you would check, just statistically, the way it's positioned, would be the trick one.
Alright. I want you to go back to the home.
Arcane lock doesn't work backwards, does it?
No,
It's
knock
only your
does.
own.
There's a spell called Knock that
Yes,
does.
I don't have it.
Find someone, get their attention, lead
Really
them
just
back here if you can. And I'll just take Manibus and kind of lob him just ever so slightly on the stairs back away.
A jingle
Lob.
an underhand yeet.
He
I'm
starts
not
to
going to see through him. I'm just
he
going
starts to like skitter up the
Yeah.
stairs. Because does he have spider climb naturally? No.
No. He has a climbing speed, so he can climb up.
Okay,
things,
so he
but,
starts to like climb up things and start to make his way up the top. What are you doing?
Deciding the risks I want to take.
Dig deeper.
At least put the bulletproof person on the stairs.
I am bulletproof.
Come on.
Boy,
Right, this is
You
your
don't have
element.
I'm in my
Bro,
element.
you're in your basement, hell.
You don't have a door opening
train.
spell, do you?
Favorite terrain.
No, I am aware of that there is magic that can do such a thing, but I don't. No, I don't know that.
While you're figuring this out,
She's just
Yeah,
like,
Mason.
Ophelia is just it's like sitting like right in like the door, just kind of like.
Should I go see
was
what's
also specifically
taking them
looking
so
for-
No,
long?
I.
Stuff in
I
town
don't
as well.
know.
It's
I mean,
specifically
we're just-
looking for stuff in town.
Yeah.
They
What were you
said
looking
to
for in town?
wait.
not the biggest
I was
storage
just
area.
wanting to find armory, blacksmith, something.
Easy enough. I mean, you get lost for a while from your last investigation check, but eventually you find a blacksmith
somewhere to
and
get
you
a-
was like, try
Get a
pick it
longbow,
anyway.
something that's a little bit more.
Yeah. So
Size
longbow
fitting.
should be. Give me a second.
Trade in my short bow as
Here.
well, if needed.
I've got damage.
I'll find out what
Yeah, we
the
can-
actual
we can
cost
sort it out
is.
later.
Yeah. But yeah,
And then I'll head home after that.
I'll call my dad.
we'll get we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so we'll say you purchased a longbow, and if you can look up the PHP for what that costs,
Yeah.
take that out of your gold.
Okay.
So you purchase a longbow, easy enough, and eventually you bump into Callian when he's on his way back,
Alright,
and both of you make your way back to the house.
sweet.
In the meantime, while you guys are making your way back to the house, what are the two of you doing?
We're just sitting there and just, like, maybe we should go check it out. I can, disguise myself or whatever. Can I just like peek through the window, like out into the yard? Do I see Manibus crawling across the yard?
Just like running across
Yeah, a bird.
Yeah.
She looks out the window and the hand just like onto the window in front of her.
Sees a hawk flying away with a hand.
No, you look out the window and you see Manibus sort of like walk up to the door
Bitten by a
and
fish.
try to like start like scratching on the door, just like a,
It's got great fingernails.
Oh, no.
yeah. It just
Okay,
yeah. You
I
hear
will
the
just,
as Manibus is
oh, okay. I'll just disguise myself real
Yeah.
quick and go out into the yard.
as
and be
human
like,
again.
Yes, as human. And I'll kind of like.
It's just kind of like
As you hold your hand out, it just like clambers on.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
It's just in your palm and just
It-
points.
yeah, it's just sitting in your palm, and it's just like it turns around and points.
Okay.
And I just
Okay,
run.
I'll jog after.
You jog after, and then you look
I'll
down.
just kind of.
It basically seems to
it
just
on
like
my
hop.
shoulder, I
It seems to like hop and adjust itself to
I
like
hate this.
like a compass.
I love it.
I feel like it's like holding it like this, like.
If I hear footsteps or anything like that, I will try and call out though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably see the.
yeah. You see the
door.
you see the door that
Hello?
leads down.
Oh,
Are you alive?
We're fine.
We're fine. There's just a small. I'm standing on a plate, some kind of pressure thing. I have a plan though. I don't know if it'll work. So it might be better if the two of you stay out there for now.
I hold onto the back of Mars' shirt.
Should anything collapse or anything like that, perhaps try and dig us out.
There
I
is a
suppose.
potential for possibly hundreds of arrows or
Yeah.
something.
What? Sorry, Ro, but what the fuck?
It's fine.
I don't know yet. That's what we're trying to find out.
So Ro, I have a plan. I have water. My plan is to pour the water onto the plate, hoping that it might be able to get somewhat into the mechanism and freeze said water. Then run it in further towards where you are, because it seems to be safe over there. Does that?
Just for now, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm probably going to I'm going to try that and see if that works at all.
Maybe do that in like
Stay.
how many stairs
stay
between
close.
him and me?
There's about 5 steps.
Just jump.
Just jump. Oh, right.
I'll catch you.
It's a slanting ceiling going down, so you like 5 steps up is like it's
like
yeah.
a jump and
Just
slide.
dive.
Yeah, dive. I can do.
Dive at me.
I can do
I'll
that.
catch you.
This is like the opposite of tossed Megan. Like,
I take out water skin, just uncork it,
I
and
could freeze it from here, but you'd have to move a little bit, maybe.
oh, that
But he can freeze
that's
it
got
himself.
force and
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
less impact. I think for now. Thank you though. And I'm just gonna pour it out into the depression of the thing.
So you pour it onto the stair, and it starts to like dribble off the step and into. Well, there is again. This is
Yeah.
like 2 stairs. So there's like barely any room. The water that's trickling in is just trickling into that little seam.
So my intention.
I might freeze it in place for a second.
Well, because the thing is, my feet are also on it, so I'd freeze them. So my intention is to try to start freezing it and adjust myself to the side, and then effectively, last chance I get, like kind of go onto the one
painting
foot
yourself
and then
into a
try and
corner.
push. Yeah, exactly. And then push off last second, just literally throwing myself down the stairs, just completely freezing it at that moment, trying to.
Okay. If you're off it and it
Here's-
triggers.
Yes.
There's going to be 2 checks made.
Okay. Cool.
The first one
Yes.
is going to be a sleight of hand.
Okay.
Right? But just to sort of make sure that you keep the same weight on it while you're moving away and shifting
Okay.
away.
Cool. That sounds important.
So, sleight of hand.
Yes.
Still important. Yeah.
I'm going to use my DM inspiration on
Yep.
this roll.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you can roll it and then see if you.
I mean, what's the
you
worst
have
thing
to
that can
declare
happen?
Enough
thing.
first.
Yeah.
What's the
Two
worst
nat
thing?
ones.
All right, because it's advantage. Yeah.
2 nat 1s.
Oh, that's very good.
That's very good.
That's very good. Thank you. It's that die. All right, cool. That is a 19 plus 3, so that's what?
Did I finally roll
Yep.
something above a
22.
4?
Yeah.
Nice.
So you managed to slide to the side enough to where now you're starting to freeze it.
Yeah.
The second check.
Uh-huh.
This is effectively a spellcraft kind of check where you're trying to freeze it. You're trying to freeze it so that it keeps the stair where it is.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get you to roll Arcana.
Uh-huh. Cool.
So roll Arcana.
I'm gonna use this one. All right. Cool.
I'm just like holding Manibus to my chest like I've forgotten
It's
that it's a
a
hand.
difficult DC because this is
Yeah. No, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. Shape water is some concentration. Well, if it doesn't. Cool. I can't change anything now. I'm doing it. I'm just gonna roll.
Got it.
Oh, that's good. Cool. 15 plus 7.
22.
Yeah, 22
Sweet.
again.
So you start to freeze it and you freeze yourself into the corner.
Yeah.
And as you step off, it stays. But you hear it.
Oh, I just dive inwards towards
You dive
where Rowan
inwards
is.
towards where Rowan is.
Oh my god!
Disaster artist.
Roll a dexterity
God.
check. Roll a dexterity
Okay,
check.
it's Dex though. It's not like athletics or something.
Oh, okay. That's number 1.
Just dexterity.
Yes.
So that's
Catch 'em like-
16.
Yeah, 16.
Like when a
You
dog
dive
goes to
and you see this blue person dive headfirst towards you. You grab him and you manage to slow the fall, and you're on the side. And that's when you hear the ice just crack.
Yep.
And you hear the go off. The metal plate comes crashing down, and what you guys see is all of those hundreds of little holes. You see gas
Oh no!
of some sort that starts to like swirl into the entire chamber. And the other thing,
Gust of wind
the other thing, the other thing
yeah,
that's
yeah.
happening as well is the trap door that's open is
Oh,
shut.
boy.
It was
Okay.
nice knowing you.
Okay, cool.
And on that note, we're gonna end today's session. We're gonna end today's session.
I'm not sure if this gas being flammable is worse than if it's not flammable.
Okay, so we'll find
Should I
out.
burn it off? And I was like, oh no!
And we will find out what your fates are in the next session.